Torrents of hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that East.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrak, 4 at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be respect the gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play. Oh my God, somebody please clip that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, Aero. I am joined by Lulu. How you doing tonight, Lulu? You know what? I'm fantastic. It's our second night in a row that we're getting to cast together, which is just amazing. That's so awesome. True. We got to cast the Girls Gang Squad yesterday, and many of you coming over from the Girls Gang Squad, a charity event that just finished. So again, shout out to Jazzy for not only the event that was a between NGS and GGS, but you know, bringing everybody over here for the show. So we really appreciate you and everything that you did today. But tonight it's going to be the Division D Grand Finals, the best of the West and the top of the East. I couldn't think of a word that would work with East. There you go, the beast of the East. That works so well. And Michael Udall coming in with even more. Rip Lulu. I just fixed this. Hold up. I'll fix it. I literally just checked this. I hate it when the thing defaults. Let's see. Lulu, come back to us.
Hello.
There's Lulu. Lulu should be good now. Gosh. All right, letting him know.
Am I wrong?
Of course you're wrong. It's totally okay when you talk. But shout out to Michael Udall. Thank you very much for the raid, bringing a bunch of people in here for the NGS Division D Grand Finals. And you know what? The teams are all set up here. I don't see them doing readies yet. I think maybe somebody stepped away for a second. But let's talk just briefly about what we've got for map bans, because I do have that information.
Hit us with it, Aero.
All right. So our bans coming out from Hot's Potato, they don't like those 2-lane maps. So they banned out the Braxis Holdout and Battlefield of Eternity. And Cool Cats and Kittens, they banned out the Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Two of the more popular NGS maps. I'm not positive that they're the most popular this season, but certainly they have been in past seasons. And one of the least popular, I think, is going to be the first pick here with Cursed Hollow.
Yeah, Cursed Hollow is one of the maps where you get like we saw last night in the GGS series, we had an Abathur on one side and TLB on the other. So hopefully we'll get some interesting, spicy picks this game.
That was absolutely just insane, seeing the very early Abathur pick, the last pick Vikings, and the hilarity that ensued from all of that. But we are set up with our draft here, ready to go. Oh, we got more. Oh my goodness. Heroes Hearth coming in with a big raid.
Oh my gosh.
It's go time. It's game 1. This is a best of 5 series. So we've got lots of time, lots of hots for your viewing pleasure tonight. So welcome everybody to the Nexus Gaming Series. Make sure you hit the follow button. The Nexus Gaming Series, an amateur league, and this is the end of the season. This is the last round, the last 5 games possibly of the entire season, and I think it might even be the last match of the season. I don't think there are any more playoffs. I'm not positive.
No, there's one tomorrow night at 7 Central. It will be the B East Grand Final cast by Ace and Ektar
There
right
you go.
here.
Well, then now you've got something to do tomorrow night as well.
Yeah. Also, Aero, you know, with all these people raiding into the stream, it's almost like they're playing Hot's Potato.
Maybe if they came over from other streams.
Well, like,
So I apologize. Listen, I got to tell you guys in advance here. I apologize right now for anybody who is concerned with bad puns. You're gonna get 1 or 2 of them tonight. But our draft here. So we've got the Brightwing and ETC coming out from Hot's Potato. They're gonna pick up Whitemane first, and Gul'dan and Malthael over there on the Cool Cats and Kittens. So a couple of globals and also a very quick rotator in the Malthael. The Gul'dan's a little bit of a kind of a unique one. It's not a commonly picked, commonly banned hero, which gives me the idea that probably they didn't want to deal with that from Hot's Potato.
Yeah, the Whitemanes are really kind of interesting first pick. Like, it's not something that over in DUS land we saw very much of, so that's interesting to see coming in hot with that first pick.
Right, and of course, I have to mentally remind myself these teams are switched. Hot's Potato is the East team, and the West team being Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yes.
My brain thinks of the West team being on the left, so that's going to take a little bit of reminder here as we go through this. But we get a Kerrigan and a Li Ming, so no frontline yet for the Hot's Potato. They've got a Diablo and a Greymane, so Diablo charging in with a Cursed Bullet coming from Greymane that could really cause a lot of problems for any of these relatively squishy targets. The Anubrak being taken out is gonna help to prevent a cocoon onto the Diablo, for example, prevent that. And we'll have to see what else they take with this Kerrigan, right? Because she can be pretty disruptive herself.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
Yeah, but she needs additional aid to make it work. And there goes the Kael'thas.
Yeah, from having played against Cool Cats and Kittens twice during this season, they do kind of like some picks that not necessarily everyone's playing. They like Ragnaros, they like Asmodean and stuff like that. So I'll be interested to see what they have in store for their draft here in the grand finals.
Well, so far they're playing some pretty standard heroes, adding to
I
it
know.
the Stukov and
They're
Rex
gonna
are
make me
here.
a liar.
Maybe. They've got one more pick, and typically that last pick is where you want to have some of those spicier
The
heroes,
spice.
the things that make it a little bit more challenging to draft around. Yeah, so I'm not keeping up very well with chat, but yes, this is Division D. This is a completely different aspect of Heroes of the Storm than you're going to see in something like a CCL. This is pretty much, I think most of these folks are probably in the range of maybe from silver to platinum in your Storm League. And we're going to get an Arthas and a Sonya.
Who says main tank Arthas isn't a thing?
Nobody.
Ah, there's Lost Vikings.
There you go. See? There's the craziness. And it's on crazy for Haruno. Haruno? I don't know.
I like Lost Vikings' name doesn't even fit on the nameplate. That's a shame.
It doesn't? Oh,
Lost
the actual
Vi-
Vikings, yeah. Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, we've got our draft. I do want to shout out Potato Masher there, 500 bits for the Nexus Gaming Series. Thanks so much for the bits. As we get into game number 1, again, this is a best of 5 series. And I don't know if we have anybody out there today who can put up a vote or not. But, if Ektar's out there or maybe if Ace is out there, somebody to start that, maybe you could put that up. But either way, so this is going to be interesting. So you've got the Greymane, Stukov, Diablo, and Rexar, and that's not really a combo. You don't typically see Rexar in with that, but he does provide an additional stun that could either follow up on Diablo's stun or follow up on provide the opening with Misha, so that Diablo then can get into a great position and land a double stun. I don't know. Arthas providing slows roots for Kerrigan. A lot of zoning potential. Nobody's really going to want to step past an Arthas and a Sonya to get to that backline of the white main. This is looking like a pretty strong team.
And then as you're slowed, by the way, Leeming Orbs.
Exactly. Not only do you have to get past the front line, you have to get past the damage of the back line. But let's go ahead and get things started. You want to start our introductions?
Sure. Representing D-West, the Cool Cats and Kittens, and they've got Descolada on the Greymane, Crazy for Haruno on the Lost Vikings, Lubidum, on Stukov, Harvath on the Diablo, and Beowulf on Rexar.
All right, and here for Hot's Potato, we're going to have Snooters playing the Sonya. Pastel Pasta, I think there's an M in there, but I don't know how to add that in that. On the Kerrigan, we've got Miss Crouton on Li Ming. It's going to be Nero there on the Arthas. White Mane going to be played by Evil Shimmer, and I think that's everybody. Misha has absolutely no health, just sitting in this bush, just running around and playing a little bit of cat and mouse here with the Vikings going all over the place. And Cool Cats and Kittens, they start in the middle, they went up, and there's a Diablo charge looking for the Kerrigan, but so far away, not enough of the team to follow up.
Yeah, they went for that early Viking. Okay. Sort of the early tower cheese there in the top lane, and Misha barely made it out alive. Get it? She's a bear.
Yep, this is what I signed up for.
That was actually not intentional.
I could tell because you didn't make a big deal out of it. The root did come out onto Rhaegar. Big stun from Kerrigan, and Beowulf getting low. That's going to be the first real blood of the game. Sonya finishing that up in the top here. And that puts them just slightly ahead in XP. Now, Miss Crouton in the bottom versus Olaf. Not the most common off-laner scenario that you expect to see, but this is the exact reason why here, so that Sonya can head over, grab the siege camp, and most likely then head to the bruiser camp afterwards. And we do see here Rexar is going to head to the bruiser camp to get started. Of course, these are both in the top half of the map, so that's why Cool Cats and Kittens are getting the bruiser camp instead of the siege camp. They're going to send the siege camp out in about 30 seconds, roughly, if they can get that done quickly enough so that it's out there when that tribute's coming up.
Oh, correction in the chat. Stukov is played by Lubidium, is how I'm supposed to say that. My bad.
I thought about mentioning that, but there's a lot going on. Stukov walking up there into the Kerrigan has the Sonya as well. But it's just kind of a joke, because now here comes Diablo to push Sonya back, and Stukov with the silence making sure she can't get away. So what looked like a juicy Stukov turned into a dead Sonya.
Yeah, and Cool Cats are rotating with the 4-man plus Misha, so they've just got 5 bodies in this lane right now.
And Li Ming's still in the bottom lane here. There was no siege camp picked up by Cool Cats and Kittens, but they do have the bruiser camp going in the mid lane, plus Baylog to provide additional support. And that's going to be a lot of damage here. So Hot's Potatoes split up as Li Ming heading up. They now have this first tribute of the game coming in as Misha gets the charge onto Kerrigan. And Arthas doing a pretty good job here of zoning out, gets the root onto 2, and Greymane pulled in from Kerrigan, having to pull back. Descolada only about 150 health there, running away from the Li Ming, does make it out and now get the healing tap along with Stukov's big heal there. But Arthas is just about out of mana, and we do have Eric coming in to harass the white mane. Something about that just seems hilarious to me.
Eric versus the world.
And Arthas still keeping that Tempest going, but the channel picked up in the back. And oh, amazing
Oh my
Kerrigan
God.
combo is gonna take out the Greymane. Almost could have potentially gotten the Diablo, but they end up taking out Misha instead. So, I mean, fantastic play there by Hot Potato. They managed to get a couple of kills out of that and the tribute. So that's a great start for them in this game. They are even up a little bit in the XP loop.
Yeah, that was such a huge pull from Kerrigan there to catch 3 of them. Well, 2 and a Misha.
Yeah, two plus. That's what we'll call it. Now, Diablo in a position here that he could look for one of these squishier targets, especially that Li Ming who had gone in, but instead it's Arthas charge into the wall, just barely missing the stun, but suddenly Kerrigan, she's going to get that stun out. Greymane diving in is not going to be able to get the kill onto the Arthas. And that had to be pixels of difference there, because Arthas did not get caught by that wall. And if he did get that stun, Arthas is dead there for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So down in the bot lane here, Sonya pushing in against Olaf did get 1 tower down, but now that siege camp is coming, and the next tribute once again is very far in the top lane. So that siege camp either has to be dealt with, or this needs to be a short fight. Charge in onto Arthas, gets the stun this time, but Kerrigan with the defense here, getting that return stun to put the pause out there. And Sonya's still in the bottom lane, so this is effectively, yeah, I was going to say, this is an advantage to the Cool Cats and Kittens. And they should be able to get this, although, yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. Li Ming going in, trying to get the stall, but gets stunned by the Diablo. Kerrigan gets the dive in, and Eric taken out. Here comes the stun as well, again, from Kerrigan. She's looking for the Rexar, but gets flipped by Diablo. Sonya taking out one more Viking here, so there's only one left on the map. But Nero in a bit of a difficult spot here, trying to pull away as they do get the kill onto Greymane there, just slightly off screen.
Yeah,
And
he was in a 2v1 there and wasn't able to secure one of the kills before it became a 3v1.
well, it's going really well for Hot's Potato here as they continue to get more and more kills after getting the Greymane. And it didn't look so great for them. I mean, all of the health bars were getting very low on their side. I mean, Arthas, I thought for sure was toast, but casually walks away. And level 10s are online here. Anything exciting that you're seeing here that you're looking forward to seeing other than a dead Eric?
I mean, I don't see anything too spicy as far as the ults go.
I think what we're going to need to see is, again, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, the Diablo with the Misha stun. That combo should enable the Cursed Bullet to help them get a quick kill on somebody. Now, Diablo can also set up his own stuns with the Apocalypse, but that just makes it even easier when you've got the Misha to provide that here. Speaking of Misha, providing that vision, it is going to be the Army of Northrends at 20, whatever the version of it is now. Arthas taking the shot to the face. Here comes an Apocalypse, but actually Diablo flipping Kerrigan out of it, and Stukov taken out very quickly in that. Now Greymane gets rooted. Sonya and Arthas just go into town, and that is a dead Greymane. Looking for the Diablo. He's trying to get away. Just so slow. Can't quite make it out as the curse picked up here for Hot's Potato. Looking really strong in this game. Keep in mind, though, mid lane does have a bruiser camp pushing in, and there's a significant amount of that fort that's already taken damage, probably going to go down during this curse, as Sonya heading up over there to try to prevent that.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hot's Potato in the bot lane at this keep wall right now. But they decided that doesn't seem like such a fun idea.
Yeah, and that's one of those plays that I really like to see when you have an advantage with a curse like that. You don't necessarily, like, even if there's a fort up, who cares, right? The minions will kill that fort. Go get damage where you can if you have a strong advantage like that. They didn't get a lot, but that fort's all down. They did a little bit of damage here, and more importantly, they pulled the team away from other areas where those minions were stacking up top and mid. Arthas getting flipped into the back, roots onto the Diablo, and Diablo getting lashed into the lesser damage from that level 13 of White Mane. We were talking about that just last night.
Yeah.
And overall, netting one fort here. This fight not done, though. This is 5 versus essentially 4. No Vikings are here. But right now, Greymane diving in looking for the Arthas. And keep in mind, that's not just a movement speed slow. That is an auto attack speed slow. So if Greymane dives in, he's going to get slow pretty quickly. And we have Boss versus Bruiser Camp here are the calls. Greymane does a lot of damage, can burn through that pretty quickly with his Inner Beast. And, you know, getting that boss off the table is really fantastic. They haven't really been winning these fights, so making sure that they don't have to fight over their boss is really great. And Diablo holding this bush to make sure that they know at least nobody's coming in.
Yep, and on the other side of the map, Hot Potatoes going for their boss now. Li Ming is totally fine.
Little bit of anti-synergy there as Diablo flipping out of the Cursed Bullet. They probably could have gotten the Sonya there. Might still be able to get her if Diablo can get this overpower, as she does get the Whirlwind, just keeping alive enough. But now the rest of the team showing up to the party as Hot Potato picking up their own boss. And we see Cool Cats and Kittens said, nah, we don't want this. Diablo pretty much just left as a sacrifice, but oh man, I don't know, that Stukov arm probably saved the Greymane, as Arthas was just kind of hanging out, staying right there.
Yeah, now Hot Potato back on this keep wall. Ooh. Okay. I saw death. I thought someone was just a Viking. All good.
Yeah, just a Viking. And, you know, that's the other real challenge here is you know, if you bring in the Vikings to a fight, you really run the risk of giving Li Ming just absolute truckloads of damage.
All the resets.
Exactly. But you know what? Comboing the Siege Camp, which the Vikings picked up with that with that boss, actually got Cool Cats and Kittens a lot of damage. Actually gave them more, I think, about the same actually as Hot Potato got in the bot lane. So they have a path to victory if they can, through scaling, pick up enough levels and talents to get a really strong win over Hot Potato in one of these team fights. They have a way that they can go win this game through top lane.
Yeah, and the Vikings were able to secure that tribute in the top lane there. Well, everyone else was out of lane. Now, Arthas is in a bad way, it looks like. Oh
But
my gosh,
suddenly
Kerrigan damage.
Wow. Double kill, getting the Rexar, getting the Stukov. And it, you know, it all looked so bad for Arthas. Like, this looked like Hot Potato was saying, we don't care, this is our game. We're going to just follow you around the map and just kill you wherever we think you are. And Arthas being brought down, you know, sub half health pretty quickly. And then the flank from Kerrigan. Like, it looked like the opportunity was there for Cool Cats and Kittens to turn this around right at that moment. And that's going to be the first keep going over for Hot Potato. And just another, you know, just an exclamation mark there, getting the kill onto Balog.
Yeah, we do have another Viking. He was trying to get this mid fort, but Hot Potato coming up to take out that siege camp, bruiser camp.
The Vikings are doing a lot of work here, so we're seeing a fair amount of death on the side of Cool Cats and Kittens, but they're dying in ways that the Vikings are able to get more value in other lanes. They haven't quite gotten this mid fort down, but over the next tribute, if they can keep the game going for a little bit, keep the brawl happening, then the Vikings could potentially take that mid fort, maybe even the top keep.
Yeah, we are going to have an even talent tier fight here for the last fight. Cool Cats didn't have their 16s quite online yet, so we'll see how the fight over this tribute plays out.
Well, they see everybody kind of has an idea of where they're at. Nero a little bit on an island here, but that hasn't stopped anything for him. Balog having to run away. There's the Cursed Bullet onto the Arthas, missing the stun once again from Diablo, just barely. Wrath of the Berserker coming in from Sonya's Misha falling. Apocalypse will, again, a little bit of anti-synergy with the flailing swipes there. Silence going to prevent the Sonya from spinning there, but she still gets that movement speed every time she uses that any ability. She's getting an additional 20% movement speed, so she's able to chase down the Diablo, and Diablo getting just deleted by Li Ming here. Tribute, I think, is being picked up by the Vikings, perhaps. Or at least it's being attempted. We have Whitemane down here stalling it out.
3 Vikings bodies versus 1 Whitemane.
Yeah, and it looks like they're either going to die or they're going to have to pull back here.
Yes,
the bot lane does have some catapults.
The Vikings.
Eric did make it up top and is empowering the Siege Giants, so they are going to get a little bit more damage here onto this top keep. So again, as mentioned, I mean, they lost heroes, but they're getting value. They're getting structure value, and heroes respawn, forts don't. And I think if you're Cool Cats and Kittens, you got to be looking for that level 20 and finding the right fight. But it's now a tough time for them because they're about a level down, and this tribute leads to a curse. So they pretty much have to take this fight, and they have to find the right place to do so. And finding themselves a little bit low after this boss could be a challenge, especially since Hot's Potatoes doing the same on the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, Hot's Potatoes might just not want to fight this. You know, they're going to have their 20s online for the next tribute that's spawning. And I don't know that they get there up to the objective in time.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I mean, Li Ming potentially could, but she could also just die. There's the silence to prevent her from getting the attack, so the channel will go out. Now, this is where Cool Cats and Kittens just has to say, we're out. We're going to go deal with that boss in the bot lane. You see Sonya already working on the one up in top. But Hot's Potato really should be dealing with that, too. I mean, they don't particularly want to lose a keep because that's constant pressure, and Vikings could potentially win a game through that. And if they're able to do what they just did and provide a zone defense like that so that they don't have to fight, they can get a curse, then Cool Cats and Kittens could really open this up, making use of those Vikings. So we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, so boss does take the top keep for the Cool Cats and Kittens. And now we go to Curse Point. And Cool Cats is still half a level away from 20 here. It's not an ideal situation for them, but maybe they get it with this camp.
They're not going to get it with this camp. There's no way. And I think
to have dreams, Aero.
I think if you're Cool Cats and Kittens, you let it go. I really do. I don't think you charge into this. You've lost every fight up until this point, and you have level 20s. It stinks to have to deal with that curse, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to let this go. And they've got the Bruiser Camp. The Bruiser Camp's going to help them defend against this curse. You know, bottom lane doesn't have a structure to defend, so you do what you can in the mid and the top, and just keep that bottom lane as clear as possible using one of those Vikings. And it's 2020.
It is 2020. Has been for 11 months or so.
It's almost over, though, just like this game. Both of them in the final hour. And it looks like Hot's Potato is going to commit here to looking at the mid lane. They've got Sonya that had gone back to get the siege camp. Again, that's going to help to make sure that that Viking doesn't just cause pressure through the top lane and additional catapults. The multiple swipes here from Stukov should help as well. Although losing that Misha is going to be really a challenge now. Thought I heard the Rexar ult, but I guess not. I think play again was used there, so now Vikings, with one of them down, they're no longer getting that percentage damage. So mid keep is going to go down. Nero almost down here from the keep rather, but it's actually Greymane trying to dive in and get. Oh no, they were trying to get the Arthas, but just being chased down by Sonya eventually will fall. However, the Vikings did get Kerrigan, and that's been a very important staple to Hot's Potatoes team here. And Whitemane's going to fall as well. So this is actually, even though it was 2 heroes lost on both sides, it was more Vikings. Oh, they might get another one.
Trouble.
Maybe? Arthas can slow them. So, and did he take? I think he took Death's Advance. Or what is this? Is it? Yeah, Death's Advance. So he gets movement speed. The root coming out from the boars. They're gonna get the Arthas. And Diablo might be looking for Sonya, but I don't know. At this point, you push up that top lane and just go win the game.
Yeah.
Maybe. Now, Kerrigan's coming up soon.
Yeah. Kerrigan will be back soon. White main not long after.
And they don't have gray main, so they really don't have any actual damage.
Yeah.
They just have kill people on the run kind of damage.
Right. Also, while we have a second, I want to talk about Sonya's mount. This, like, ship in a bottle or something? I have not seen this before.
Huh. I wonder when that came in.
Yeah, right?
All right, so everybody up but Arthas. Arthas has been a pretty key part of this as well. So without having those auto attack and movement speed slows, it's a tough place for Hot Potato to try to engage into. Greymane is back with Cool Cats and Kittens, so they're looking to push up this bot lane. They've got top lane is all done, and Eric dealing with that, keeping the pressure up. And this bottom boss is coming up soon. And you know what? Cool Cats and Kittens doesn't have to necessarily go for that if they don't want to. It's not like it would be their point, but it's nothing for Hot Potato.
Yeah, and they did just get down the last fort in the bot lane. Oh, this is not looking good for Diablo. But he blinks away with his 20.
Yeah, getting that Hellgate out might be just enough to keep them alive here. Using the Misha and the Vikings as well as kind of a human sacrifices to keep Diablo alive.
That's fair. And in the top lane, there are 2 catapults in this wave that the Viking was pushing up there. And he's got a siege camp too. Sonya has to go back to respond to that.
Ah, dang it. I zoomed in so that we could see that mount, but then she got off the mount. All right, so both teams picking up bosses. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like we've done this once or twice before. Last week, that mount appeared. Okay, thanks, Hope Stealer. Have to check it out. It's probably a gold mount.
Brand new with Hogger. Okay.
Oh,
well,
that makes sense.
I'm going to the store after this match is over because I want to see it.
All right, so...
Rip Viking to camp.
Yeah, right? Boss is going in each of these lanes here, and it looks like Hot Potato wants to commit with this boss. And I don't think Sonya should join this. I think Sonya should go defend, because this is going to be a strong defense here from Cool Cats and Kittens. And that Viking can push along with that boss, and that boss could end the game if they're not careful.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
I mean, Hot Potato has to push in quick here.
It has to be a strong offense, and Stukov can just really push that. But there's 20 coming out from White Main. They get the kill onto Eric, giving resets. Apocalypse coming out. The core shielding is down on the left already, and Li Ming's taken out. That's a huge loss for Hot's Potatoes. Snooter's trying to get the damage onto the core. It's going down so quickly. It's very even, and it's gonna be... Oh my god! Holy cow! Cool Cats and Kittens. The core has
12 health. Aero.
12 health. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What?
Wow. That's one minion auto attack. Holy cow.
No, there was no ETC this game. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say there, Aero.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine the first game of a 5-game series. 1% to 0%, 12 health on the core. I'm speechless. That was the blue team. Yeah, the blue team won.
Yeah, Hot Potatoes took game 1 there by 12 health on their core.
Insane. Absolutely crazy. Well played. Well played. You know what, though? I do have to say, Cool Cats and Kittens, like, 99% of that game, they weren't in it. And they kept going, they kept pushing. They get to the end, they've gotten a keep down, and they did everything they possibly could and should have done. Probably the only other thing maybe they could have done is if Play It Again was available, maybe they pull all the Vikings, because the Vikings just provide resets for Li Ming, right? So maybe they bring all the Vikings instead of just one to provide the push. Maybe they win that then. I don't know, because having the extra Vikings there might have been enough to get that kill on Li Ming. And actually, I think it was a Viking that got the kill officially. But who knows?
Yeah, that was crazy close. The whole game, Vikings doing honest Vikings work, almost 40,000 experience from them, taking camps, applying pressure, really keeping cool cats in it, and then, the the boss Viking top lane is 12 health away from ending up basically stealing the win for them.
Yep, exactly. Just won anything. That's true. I suppose at level 20, even like a Tassadar auto attack is more than 12. Don't tell me the odds. Exactly. All right, let's see. Who picked this one? So that's... All right, so it looks like Cool Cats and Kittens picked the map.
No. Cool Cats and Kittens has first pick.
Yeah, you're right. I was reading that backwards. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and show what the maps are here. So we start off with bans on most Toon Lane maps. BOE and Braxis were banned out by Hot's Potato. Cool Cats and Kittens, they banned out Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. We saw Cursed Hollow won just barely by Hot's Potato. And now we're going to Hanamura. So the team that banned all the Toon Lane maps, selecting I think the only remaining 2-lane map, right? Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot this was in the pool. I thought they banned out all the 2-lane maps.
Yeah, I mean, Hanamura didn't get picked all that often. But, I mean, I enjoy it. I think I'm special in that.
We played I think we played a couple games on it this season. It was a good addition to the pool. I personally am still sad we had no Sky Temple this season. That's a map that I think is underrated. But we got Hanamura, so I'm happy with that.
And unless they change the rules, the least picked map, which is either Hanamura or Cursed Hollow, coincidentally, will be taken out of the map pool and cycle in a new one. So we could see Sky Temple.
I could be wrong. I thought it was Hanamura and Alterac were the lowest 2 picks.
It may have changed.
If Ektar is around, he could probably tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, there was it's been a few weeks. There was a point where it was Cursed Hollow and Hanamura, but it's entirely possible that it pulled ahead. Because Alterac's not a very commonly picked one either.
Right.
Potato Masher says, one of those cats looks fine, the other, not so much. But game number 2, we're going to Hanamura Temple. We're into our draft. I completely forgot to write down what the third bans were for the last round, so who knows about those? Unless you remember.
Tracer first ban, not even a little bit.
You know what? I need an assistant. Maybe I can get Alice. I was going to say, maybe I can teach Alice how to write. She just looked up at me like, you are absolutely crazy.
Is Alpha still rocking her Alpha Claws outfit?
Oh, no, that came off immediately after the second attempt there. She is not a fan of wearing clothes, shall we say. Alpha being my dog, just to clarify for anybody out there who is confused by what we're talking about. But we are going to see Brightwing once again banned out. Brightwing's been a very commonly picked hero in a variety of levels of play, and with good reason.
Oh, Kerrigan ban. That's smart. That Kerrigan did so much work the last game.
It's hard to say like who was kind of the most valuable player. Honestly, I think for Cool Cats and Kittens it was Vikings, even though it was very difficult to, pin anything specific. Vikings are a little bit over a lot of time. But Hot's Potato, like Kerrigan was really strong for them. The Arthas lived for about 500 years, which is a combination of Kerrigan, or not Kerrigan, Whitemane and Arthas, but also Kerrigan with the CCs. We're going to see Gallband out here. But even like Sonya bouncing all over the map, having to go deal with the Vikings, come back in, get damage, get kills, chase down the Greymane, like doing so much. And so the whole team really did well. And I'm sure that Li Ming did a lot too.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, you know what? I think Kill was one of the bans.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So, question for you, Aero. Brightwing has gotten really popular recently. I know they tuned down her level 1 a little bit in the last patch, but had she gotten a buff that made her suddenly popular? Or was everyone like, oh, by the way, this hero exists?
Was there?
I have no idea.
I
didn't
feel
play
like
that
they
hero.
I feel like they did. I feel like they did buff some of her talents, like her healing a little bit. But also kind of the general meta shift allowed for that too. There's been a lot of changes in how things went, and so having a point and click polymorph that you can do from a distance, being able to have a global and not insignificant amount of healing, along with spell armor and a high mobility at level 10, or potentially disengage with the wind. So I've always found Brightwing to be a fun hero to play, but she's not one that a lot of people preferred to play because her healing style's a little bit different, and it's a lot of little heals over time, and it also puts you in kind of a confined area.
Right. Makes sense. So we got Rexar changing teams here. This time, Hot's Potato will have him and Nisha. And we again have the Whitemane out from Evil Shimmer, who also put in a lot of work for them last game.
Yeah, and we're getting ETC Lucio Kael'thas over here for Cool Cats and Kittens. Lucio, this is a map where sometimes it can be a little difficult for Lucio. He can't get quite as much wall ride time. But it's also a map where you often have your heroes all together, so he's able to get the benefit of that group healing a lot more often at the expense of some of that mobility. Ooh, a Kira. Now, Kira's a hero that fell off a little bit with the medallions, but now that those are gone... yeah, now that those are gone, we might see a little craziness here.
So sad it's gone.
Shimmer hard carry, says another prologue. Potato Masher, thanks again for the bits. I think there may have been some other bits. I don't have a list. I'm just seeing stuff in chat, so if I missed any out there, I apologize. But of course, thank you very much. And yeah, Cassia, we get the Li Ming. So again, like a Diablo Rexar combo now on the other side. That's a really interesting switch. This time with Rexar actually being in the off lane, probably against Kira, and that's like Kira into Rexar is a really good matchup. I think Kira, is able to win that as long as you're talking like equal skill potentially here. So we'll see how that turns out. And also, somebody was asking or made a comment about the Gaul. I mean, Cho'Gall, this is a 2-lane map. It's a map that frequently does go longer. So having a Cho'Gall is not a bad thing here, I don't think. I think you could see a lot here.
Loves Cho'Gall. I mean, they changed their logo last season this season to feature Cho'Gall. And banning Gall is the correct choice because he's the one that puts out all the damage. Let him have Cho, but don't let him have Gall.
I don't know. You build right on Cho, he can do a lot of damage. But let's get our teams introduced. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Okay, for game 2 for the Cool Cats and Kittens, they've got Beowulf on the Kira, Descolada on Raynor, Crazy for Haruno on Kael'thas, Lubidium on Lucio, and Horvath on the ETC. I mispronounced so many names game 1. I'm sorry, friends.
And on the left for Hot's Potato, we've got Nero playing Diablo. We got Pastel Pasta on, who is that? Is that Cassia? Yeah, it's Cassia. Evil Shimmer on the White Mane, Miss Crouton once again on the Li Ming, and Snooters on Rexar. Do we have anybody on bottles again? No bottles this game. Got some money on Kira, though.
Hey, Thralla Bills.
Now, we do have a bit of a divergence from the norm, so to speak. So, Cool Cats and Kittens heading up to the top lane. Gonna get a little bit of XP out of that, Misha. But they've got their full 4 up here. Yeah, and this is really beneficial for them because not only can they push the wall a bit, which, of course, now Hot's Potato can, but keep in mind, they've got Raynor, who's going to be able to exterminate that samurai very quickly, and they want that in the top lane, so getting the value up here is even better for them. Rexar and Misha can do the same, but it's going to take longer.
Kira much more fun to play without Medallion. Don't have to worry about getting dropped off in unfortunate positions at level 1.
Yeah, exactly. And as mentioned, this samurai up 15 seconds later, it's done. That's it. So that's going to be pushing up in that top lane here. Bottom lane, though, Beowulf getting pretty low and a lot of wall damage along with a tower here already here for Hot's Potato. So they're going to rotate a significant amount of assets to get down their own samurai, but that's going to take a little bit longer for them to do, and that's going to leave the samurai up top to get some value.
Yeah, with Cool Cats getting their samurai so much earlier, they should have some kind of free push here with the samurai up, with Hot's Potato just now taking their own samurai.
So they get the full wall down here, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and back up, but Diablo gets hit by the penetrating. And yeah, Crazy for Haruno is going to make it up, gets the gravity lapse to ensure that as level 4 is coming online. And I was going to say, I think we're going to see Raynor come down and maybe clear this out, because this is going to take a long time for Kira to take out. But maybe not.
Yeah.
They're kind of indecisive at this.
For the Cool Cats, they already picked up their turret as well. The Kira's got that right now. But she is about to lose her well, probably, to this samurai with no help here.
She might lose more. Oh, wow. That was an absolutely clutch revolving sweep. Without that,
sure.
She's dead. And Beowulf just trying to take this out. Whew, that was close. Might be able to not die to the... or might not lose the fort here. Misha coming back is a big problem for Kira, though. But she's able to get away. Just in the nick of time. And get the kill onto Misha.
Yeah, Kira having to solo clear out that samurai means that Hot's Potato actually got more push with their camp than the Cool Cats did with theirs in the top lane.
I came off of the Kira Rexar because I figured that, you know, Kira with her health, she was at like 10%. She's probably not going to go in. And sure enough...
Oh, she did.
Sure enough, she
Beowulf
did.
playing a very clean Kira so far in this game.
Yeah, I mean, if you use the combo of that grappling hook and revolving sweep, I mean, what's Rexar gonna do if he doesn't have Misha? So she can heal up and deal with the few auto attacks he can bring. But yeah, you're right. They Hot's Potato got a lot more value in that bottom lane than Cool Cats and Kittens did in theirs.
Yep.
And they're about to get a little bit more value here. Beowulf in danger. Gonna grappling hook away, but has a Diablo getting flipped and...
Turret.
Oh, look at that. Uses the blood, whatever it's called, I can't remember the name of it, to heal right back up. Now Nero, deep into the team, is gonna get stunned by ETC, and payback time. Beowulf getting that kill onto Diablo. Saying, how dare you bring your entire team to try to kill me?
The Beowulf debate in the bottom lane managed to stall out for his team to get there to join him. And now, with a Genji and a huge wave in the top lane for Cool Cats, they should probably get the
Oh yeah, there was no question. That thing was going for sure.
And
Raynor and
for
Lucio.
good measure.
Yeah, Raynor and Lucio are going to go ahead and get their siege camp as ETC trying to push the objective just a little bit. Diablo charging in, sees a whole bunch of red health bars coming and says, maybe this wasn't the best idea for me here. And yeah, no amount of shimmer is going to help that one. And that should give a pretty easy push here for Cool Cats and Kittens, as Diablo not quite at that souls number, sitting at 41 here. I was wondering if they might come in on this. It is 4v3 here with Rexar up above. ETC is going to push him away, and this is a nice, easy, cool pickup for the Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah, Cool Cats have just been much quicker in getting their camps out, and so Hot's Potato kind of leaves himself open to the invade there, especially with the Diablo falling in that last fight.
Yeah, this is absolutely critical on this map to keep the samurais out. ETC is going to get a big stun onto Diablo. The movement speed slow there for a moment on Lucio, but now he's got the healing, and Diablo going to make it out. Cassie coming in with the fend. ETC very low, and the kill coming out. Leeming with the resets, looking for Crazy for Haruno, as Raynor just kind of hanging out there waiting for Diablo to come up, but not enough follow-up to get that kill. So just the one kill, but that's going to give now the timing for Hot's Potato to push the objective back.
Yeah, Cool Cats are very close to 10, though. They've got like a full level lead here for themselves. So
And
they
this
can
is-
wait to get his 5 and then take a fight up 10s.
Yeah, and they're heading up to the samurai. They're, in my opinion, they're a little bit late. They kind of did a dance coming around, you know, in the bottom, and then kind of saw the samurai was up instead of just coming here immediately. If they came here immediately, this would already be out. It's not going to cause a problem for them. Now they're going to get level 10s off of it, but they could have saved themselves 10 seconds of time potentially, especially having that Raynor with Exterminator. But now that's going out, going to be able to push the card a little bit, and the bottom camp up in about a minute. So level 10 going to be up for Hot's Potato here, certainly by the time that comes out. Potato saying, Shimmer, what was that? I know you're going to watch this VOD, you dingus. There you go. Sometimes you just got to call out some good comments in chat, just in case Shimmer didn't catch that later.
Yes.
Hot's Potato with their 10s are here now. We'll see if Nero can, you know, make use of that Apocalypse. Definitely, you know, some struggles in the last game because of the variety of different abilities like knockbacks and things like that, that Cool Cats and Kittens had. But they do get the push in. Now, it's mostly going to go to the wall and the towers here, so the overall value of that objective, not going to be super great, but it's not on the map anymore.
Right, and it does help them get some push here in the bottom lane. Cool Cats wants the invade on this samurai right now, coming in 5v3. And they managed to steal another Genji camp.
And it's gonna flip, and that's a big problem here. Diablo getting caught. The cleave went out there and caused so much damage there. The Misha going down, as well as Cassia now, and yikes.
And the ETC mosh pit in there as well.
That was the Diablo almost hesitated, maybe did hesitate, and maybe that was the problem. Ended up charging in, but that ended up leading to their death, right? Nero was just a moment too late. The camp flipping over, and that cleave ultimately a death sentence. I see a Mark Zombie in chat.
TTV Mark Zombie. Division C Grand Champion, I believe.
I think so. Cool Cats and Kittens gonna get themselves another fort here. They did see in the vision Hot's Potato working on that top vision. Oh, they're not gonna get the fort. They're actually going to pull back. Diablo charging in, is a mile from his team. Somehow still alive. I'm kind of amazed by that, but there's the pull onto Raynor, looking for that fend onto Raynor as well. The boot back, though, it's going to be Kira going down, as Kira was also kind of isolated at the end of that. But Nero's still alive, gets knocked away by the face melt.
Yeah, Beowulf was kind of stuck in a 1v5 there with the Kira. And he wasn't quite able to get out of that one.
And now we're seeing here Hot's Potato say, it's our turn. We've got the advantage here. Diablo looking for
Now we
Lucio.
invade. Oh,
And-
that was a huge stun, Abe.
It was absolutely perfect. That's exactly what you want to see here. They get a staggered death here. They're all very low, so they have to be maybe just a little bit careful, but not too careful. Kira nearly getting the Li Ming, but they'll be okay. And this Samurai, they're able to tank it kind of away from the wall, so it's not going to get any actual structure damage. But that's a huge win for Hot's Potato.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! The accidental R.
I mean, that said, they don't know that that's there. Hot's Potato has no idea that Maj has been used.
That's true. That's true. You just gotta act like you're gonna mosh. That's what matters.
Exactly. You know, sometimes you just gotta flex, and by flex I mean hit your ultimate entirely out of vision of the enemy team. Where
Yeah,
flexing
and he
is the
does
most
have
important.
the encore at 13 now, so that's gonna help him get it back up a little bit quicker if he, sees his enemy.
Absolutely. And Hot's Potato now heading over to their Samurai. They haven't had the Samurai on their side of the map since, I believe, the very first one. All right, chat picked up what I was picking up too. Oh, that was the mosh. Okay, never mind. All right, so Samurai coming in, Cool Cats and Kittens having to defend that. It's going to be at their keep, and Hot's Potato looking to see if they can't find themselves. Yeah, I was going to say Lucio there was a juicy target for the Diablo, but I think maybe Diablo was just in vision there of Horvath. And here you go. Samurai makes it to the wall. We'll see how quickly it can get in on this. Misha taking the brunt of that damage. Phoenix is ultimately going to provide a little zone defense here as Samurai getting all the way through the one tower. But ultimately, that's all it's going to get. So not a ton of value on that one. Really for either of the Samurais that Hot's Potato was able to pick up. But again, they're still behind about 3/4 of a level. So every small bit that they can get of XP is extremely helpful for them in this.
Yeah, and like you said before, even if your Samurai doesn't get a ton of value, you've at least taken it off the map, so it can't be, invaded and stolen from you.
Right, or sent out at this exact moment where then the objective is being pushed and stalled out, and it's destroying structures. Big stun there onto ETC, which gave Cassia the go-ahead. But everything going in the other direction here. Cassia deep in, gets stunned by Misha as Raynor getting taken out here. Mosh Pit into the back, gets 3, but not enough damage to follow it up, so it's just ETC hanging out. Is gonna be obliterated there by the Li Ming once she finishes the dance party. Misha taken out, now Diablo in trouble, is going to fall, but he'll be back in a few moments with those souls. But
Cassia in the back.
Makes it, spreads the living bomb, and that could put Whitemane in an absolutely terrible place. So they trade the Whitemane for the Cassia.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Diablo back, though. So currently one hero down on either side. Advantage Cool Cats and Kittens, technically, since they did bring the Diablo souls down. And they also have that Samurai going.
Yep.
By the way. And it looks like they're going to invade. Now, this is a little bit more dangerous. They can rip this pretty quickly. But they have no ETC here. He's a mile away. But with no healer, it looks like Hot's Potato saying, yeah, we don't really want to mess with that either. But just like we saw in the other half of the map, most of the Samurai's health is going to go down before it's able to get any structure damage. It's only really going to get a couple of hits onto that wall. So this bottom fort still alive, almost 15 minutes into this game. And I thought it was going to be dead 10 minutes ago. It was really close at that one point.
Maybe they can get a little bit of push here. maybe.
Possibly. I mean, this is an easy fort for. I mean, both teams could
Okay.
potentially take out either
Big
fort.
bush party in the top lane being set up. I don't know if anyone's going to attend it. Okay, never mind. Party canceled.
Yeah, and this is going to give the okay for both teams to just take down the fort. And I'm
Yeah.
interested to see if they keep going. I think that, yeah, I was going to say, I think that with Raynor and this wall already really low, they continue to push this. I think I would have waited on the Hyperion just a moment until the tower was down, because it won't quite get as much damage onto the structures as it could have. But that's still a big advantage there for Cool Cats and Kittens, getting the additional well down. But now
Yeah,
the
got
catapults
the
in both
whole
lanes.
front wall and the weld there for the Cool Cats and Kittens.
Does that kill go to KT or Cassia? Excellent question, Kara Charles. Excellent question.
Oh no.
I think it's a
I've been
KT
there
kill.
before. Support player trying to save your team, and then you die for your efforts. Thanks, guys.
And there's Rexar coming in with the boars. ETC in a bit of a bad place. Does use that face melt. Has the encore as well now. Keep in mind, Mosh Pit is available, so they don't want to be too crazy here. There's the Mosh
There's
onto
Mosh.
2. Li Ming's going to get taken out. Diablo coming in with the A block for the stun. Kael'Thas getting pulled in by the Valkyrie here. We see the pings call and kill that Kael'Thas. But ETC with the zoning, Misha going to be taken out. Nero's still looking for that Kael'Thas, but instead is going to get taken out and obliterated with the living bomb, killing the white main in the process as well. Cassia might make it out. She has that instant mount here, but ETC is mounted as well. Looking for the stun, gets it. Here comes that face melt. And another kill. A quad kill here for Cool Cats and Kittens. Looking really strong here. They've got the Samurai now to push down the wall. And Hyperion coming back up. So this keep is pretty much all the way dead. And that puts him in a really great place, especially with level 20. They might even look to push for end of game here. I mean, Cassia's not up for 25 seconds.
Yeah, so they've got a 2-level lead here to 20. There's no anything except for the keep in the bot lane. Top keep is gone. Cool Cats are in a really good position here, and they're going to get the Samurai. This is, I think, the third, maybe fourth time they've stolen that this game.
Yeah, I think fourth. Because they had 2, then they missed 1, then they had this one and the last one. So they're not going to take down the bottom keep, as pretty much everybody now back up for Hot's Potato. But they'll be able to push this in. And did they get it stalled? This is a tough call for Hot's Potato. Like,
yeah, it's sort of a lose-lose for them.
Yeah, but the objective is lose less, I think.
Yeah, I agree. If you wipe there, you're fighting down 20s. That's definitely the end of the game. This just takes your fort or keep, which isn't ideal, but it's better than having lost.
So there's not a lot of positives here for Hot's Potato, but the positive thing they do have right now is that the XP is coming to their side of the map. Ultimately, in both lanes eventually, the bottom lane being pushed up because they already picked up that XP. But it's going to be coming their way. So with Cool Cats and Kittens coming to the Samurai once again, obviously top lane's going to push. I don't know that they necessarily want to try to push for core with that. And we see the retreat. I mean, there's no camp here, guys. It's still a minute away. So not a whole lot to get there. You can't really defend anything there. So I think they just defend the Samurai, at the core.
Yeah, I mean, they are still a full level away from having their 20s online if Cool Cats wants to try and push with this. But we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they absolutely can try to find something. I don't think they want to do it right under the core, so if Hot's Potato steps forward, then they can do it, but... And that's kind of what we're seeing. Horvath staying off to the side here, waiting, looking for that Mosh potential. Did take Bolt of the Storm, so has some flexibility with that too. But the missiles on this core do a lot of damage, so Hyperion is coming out, so they're in. There's Kael'Thas getting pulled in by Valkyrie. Apocalypse, but Diablo getting stunned. They also has the catapults attacking him. Kira gonna fall to the Rexar here, and that's gonna force the retreat. as Lucio trying to skate away with that movement speed buff there. Successful defense. Not even any shield damage there.
Yeah, no one falls. They managed to defend down 20s there with the help of the friendly neighborhood core. And Cool Cats goes to steal the samurai though for good measure. That's 5.
Yeah, they had the time. Why not? They could see that Hot's Potato was in the top, clearing out as much XP as they could get. And now they're level 20, though. This is where things could get really crazy, right? You've got Roots coming out from the Rexar. You've got a Hellgate from Diablo who has been doing really well with those Apocalypse. So we could see that combo of like a Hellgate, shove Shadow Charge into a wall with another like Apocalypse on top of it. Like there's a ton of stuns. One person could just be unable to play the game for several seconds. The Roots from, or actually I think that's Silences, isn't it, from Valkyrie now? Silences and Roots for 3 seconds. So it could go either way here.
Yeah, if someone loses a team fight badly, that might just end the game.
Yeah, because even with the keeps up, that's not enough with the death timers as long as they are to prevent a
and
core push.
There's no wall there in the bot lane by the keep. So
Cats and Kittens don't really need to do anything here. Like, they literally just kind of hang out here. They've got pressure in both lanes, including
there's
catapults
4 catapults in the bot lane right now.
Yeah,
They just
right
want
there.
to keep people from backing if they can.
But if Hot's Potato starting this is also not necessarily the greatest idea. Like, I understand what they're trying to do, but if they like take a bunch of, well, that works if you just isolate the team and spread them out. But it is stalled out here. ATC gonna get knocked away. Uses the Bolt of the Storm to get away. Hyperion coming in for the damage. Catapults now on the core here for Hot's Potato. They
So
have
many
to leave.
catapults.
And they're trying to now, and this is they're only going to get maybe Rexar gets away here. Misha should be able to stun them, so I think they're okay if the team can get away. They're being chased down. ETC could get a power slide here. There's the Apocalypse coming on Kael'thas, big stun. Oh, what a great sound barrier though. And now Diablo in danger, and White Mane goes down. A double kill so far. Cassia gonna make it a triple, and Misha being just a grappling hook target here for Kira, but with the core at 49%, Cool Cats and Kittens are gonna get the objective.
Dude, that sound barrier from Lucio though, I mean, that like saved that fight and won them the game. Probably. They're making some real choices here, but you know,
I mean, it's gonna work. They're gonna win the game.
Yeah.
The objective brings off the shielding. They've got the samurai.
yeah,
So
and then
it's just
look, they got 4 more catapults top lane. Like, this almost just ends before they even get the objective.
they just took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
They're gonna go win the. No, they're not. They're gonna wait.
Look, they were just setting it up, you know, just in case their push didn't work. They were gonna have the objective. They were gonna have a samurai. They had catapults in the top lane. There were 4 different options, and one of them was gonna end the game.
Exactly. They knew that this game was ending. They just figured they would just let it happen.
Yeah.
For the stats. That's what it was. Keeping those camp up times, stealing more camps. All of the things.
Yes.
Let's see. So that puts us even 1-1 now on our best of 5 series here. We already knew we were gonna get a game 3. Now we're definitely getting a game 4. And you know what? The way these teams are playing, a 1% core on game number 1, and really even this game was, back and forth a little bit, but it could go all the way to a 5-game set. It could be an absolute just powerhouse of a match tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's been momentum shifts in these games, but overall, it's been decided by the first game 1%, and it was just going to be who wins the team fight, and that last one went over to Cool Cats and Kittens.
Is this the season to be a cat-paced team, says McGiblets? Could be. Could be. All right, well, we've already got our third map up here. These guys, It's not often that teams are really just like ready to go almost immediately.
This is the grand finals, Aero. They're prepared.
I mean, they've done their homework. They know exactly where they want to go, what they want to do. And so we've got our third map. So let's take a look at those here. It's going to be Volskaya Foundry. So for those of you that have come in maybe part way through here, we had the bans at the beginning from Hot's Potato onto the Braxis Holdout, Battlefield of Eternity, taking out the 2-lane maps. Cool Cats and Kittens, they banned out 2 of the most popular maps, the Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And then game 1 was a Cursed Hollow 1%, 12 hit points on the core victory. Worth watching. I think somebody clipped it, but definitely worth watching. Then we saw the Hanamura Temple here just a moment ago. 1-1 so far in this series, and there's so much to come.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's been your favorite like hero? I won't ask you your favorite moment. That stuff gets kind of muddled up pretty easily, unless you remember it. But what's been your favorite hero pick tonight so far?
I mean, the Kira by Beowulf, that game was kind of crazy. He was doing a really good job. That Rexar kill that you missed because you didn't have faith.
Yeah.
I'm just putting in a lot of work.
Yeah. No, even not having seen it, knowing that Kira was basically dead already, and knowing that she killed a full health Rexar, albeit without Misha, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I saw it happening. I was like, she's going back in. She can't do that. She doesn't have the health for that. And, oh, okay. He just dies. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah, because you get a big heal off of that, hitting somebody with your Carnage. That's what it's called. And there you go. I mean, you're just fine. And Rexar's not really known for his base hero damage on his base hero.
Yeah, he's just, half a hero. Misha's the real hero here.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The Volskaya Foundry, very different from the Hanamura Temple. What changes do you think we might see from these teams? You're a little bit more familiar with one than the other, but what do you think we might see that's unique at this point?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. We've made it 2 games in here, and we haven't seen a Ragnaros from Cool Cats and Kittens. I want to say they played it in like 50% of their games during the regular season.
Could be. Well, we're not going to see another Kerrigan, though.
Yeah, that's smart. It's just no. And it's also, she's one of those heroes that you just don't necessarily come across a whole lot of. So when you come against someone that plays it really well, and if you haven't had much experience against it, then just ban it. Don't deal with it.
I think Hot's Potato might be looking to ban that Kael'thas again.
Yeah, that he was doing a really good job in the last game, and those bombs, they had some unfortunate outcomes for Hot's Potato. Rip Whitemane saving her teammate and dying for it.
Yeah, and this is already a map that Kael'thas can get extra value, like more so than most maps, because of the control points here. And knowing that you lost a couple of fights because of, spread loving bombs, it's even harder to avoid that here. So it wouldn't surprise me if they ban this out second.
Hey, there it is. You're so smart, Aero.
Sometimes I like to be right. Wait, that's not true. Sometimes I'm right, and I enjoy it when I am right.
I was gonna say, you always like to be right. What is this?
All right, so our first hero. So Diablo tonight, a 0% win rate. Still a very strong hero in general, although I think this is not a map that Diablo players prefer. But Johanna is. This is a map that Johanna does work really well on, because she can stand on that point for a long period of time and has the shield with her Iron Skin, the Unstoppable. She can provide a lot of zone defense. She can blind. She just brings a lot to the table on this. And keeping with the white main, and there's that Gul'dan that was banned out in game number 1.
Is that a different white main skin? I think that's a different color.
I have no idea because I have a
Okay.
thing blocking, so I don't actually see the
Oh.
well
then.
skins.
Yeah, I do like the Johanna for Cool Cats and Kittens. She's really good on any sort of point controlling map because, like you said, she can just stay there forever. There's the Asmodan. I have bad memories of Asmodan from Cool Cats and Kittens, so I don't really want to talk about it.
And this is a really good combo for this team with a Condemn pulled into Johanna for a globe. I can't remember the name of the globe thing, but Asmodan's globe. And then you've got a Stukov as well. So like you have a couple of different ways that whoever's close to Johanna is going to have a bad day.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad day. It's a bad circles kind of game.
ETC being banned out. Now, they already had the Johanna, but having a double tank isn't necessarily like a terrible idea here, especially if they took another strong, like, sustained DPS, like potentially like a Rainer or a Greymane. Their overall wave clear would be a little bit awkward, but they could send Johanna down into the bot lane and solo lane. So, you know, the ETC, again, is a little awkward, but not really that awkward. They're banning out they're banning out the Anubarak. Could this be a Cho'Gall here? I mean, they banned Anub, right? Yeah, they banned Anub last game. Possibly even game 1. I didn't write down the third ban.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe? Seems a bit weird, but we'll see.
I was gonna say, I think
Good.
we're gonna see some kind of like percent based damage here, just on the off chance that they do pick it up. Oh no, yeah, well no, they've got Stukov. Yeah, I was gonna say they don't have a healer, but then of course they do.
Who's it gonna be? 6 seconds.
I want it to be Cho'Gall. It's not. Okay.
Crushed dreams. There's the Ragnaros. Ragnaros Asmodan. This is a Cool Cats and Kittens draft.
There you go. McGiblet says Stukov was picked. GG, go next. Yeah, I mean, not only with their combo, but this map too. I mean, just for the same reasons that I mentioned Kael'thas, you know, Stukov does really well here as well. Last pick going to be Cassie again.
Cassie again. Dude, her Valkyries were really big last game. She was doing a really good job of catching the KT and the Jimmy with the Valkyrie.
Well, there you go. We've got our final draft here. It's game number 3, currently tied up 1-1 out of this best of 5 series. One of these teams is going to be a single game away from winning the grand finals at the end of this game. What do you think? Who's got the better draft for this?
I'm gonna go with Cool Cats and Kittens.
I have to agree with you.
I've played against them here with probably a similar draft. It's not a terribly fun thing to do. That said, first 2 games have been really close between these 2 teams, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Hot's Potato take it either.
Alrighty. Well, we've got our teams. Let's go ahead and get them introduced.
All right, for Cool Cats and Kittens in this game 3, they've got Horvath on Johanna, Lubidium on the Stukov, Crazy for Haruno on the Asmodan, Descalada on Raynor, and Beowulf on the Ragnaros.
All right, and for Hot's Potato, it's going to be Miss Crouton there on the Gul'dan. We got Pastel Pasta on the Cassia. Snooter's there back on the bottle there for Malthael this time. Nero on the Muradin, and Evil Shimmer once again on the White Mane. And so...
Oh!
What?
I think someone in chat said earlier it's pasta impasta. Like a pasta imposter. Like a capital I.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I didn't understand what that meant until just now.
Pasta and pasta. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Okay, okay. Good call, good call, good catch. So, all right, so we've seen a variety of tanks here. So I'm interested to see how this Muradin goes, right? This is a very different playstyle from what we've had from Nero, but still allowing him to kind of be in the front of everything because he can just disengage out, right?
Yeah.
So interested to see how that turns out. Once again, Cool Cats and Kittens right onto the camp at the moment it spawns at that 1 minute mark. So they're going to have that siege camp, and then it'll be up in the middle of the channel point. So Nero doing
Cool
his
Cats,
best. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, Cool Cat's just doing a really good job staying on top of these camps just as soon as they're coming up.
Yeah, and so Nero kind of doing a good job to keep Cool Cats and Kittens from being able to rotate quickly, which of course with a Johanna Asmodean, Stukov, they're able to clear these waves pretty quickly, but they're also stacking the Asmodean pretty well. Already at 70 out of the initial 200 stacks there.
Oh, that's that's gonna make for a painful game.
It sure will. And Merton getting some what is it? It's just called Stormbolt, right? Yeah, Stormbolt. Some Stormbolt stacks as well, so sitting at 5. Has the Sledgehammer there at level 4, so gonna have the additional stacks anytime he hits a hero. So that'll stack pretty quickly here.
Yep.
Merton just doing whatever he wants. And again, I mean, the whole point, I think, is to try to slow down the growth of Asmodean's. All right, we got to look at what it is. I can't not know what it is. Globe of Annihilation. Okay, so I can just call it globes. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. 101 stacks for Asmodean, by the way. 2 minutes, 45 seconds into the game.
Yeah, I mean, this bodes well for them. Asmo also taking the level 1 talent here, Gluttony. So every time he hits a hero, that is increased even more. Yeah.
Yeah, they saw the Murden back there, and so Cool Cats comes in and takes the heal camp.
Why not, right? And Murden's been in their face the whole game. So once Murden was no longer right up there, they really have the opportunity to do whatever they want. They don't have anybody to slow them down with the thunderclaps or the storm bolts or what have you.
Oh, Rag in trouble here? Oh.
Might be able to make it to the conveyor belt.
Oh, 1v5 though. That hurts.
So a quick kill there onto Rag. They do have level 7s on the side of the Cool Cats and Kittens. 32% on the channel. Rag should be able to get back before the 100% mark, so they should be able to put up a defense on this if they so choose.
Yeah, and right now they're just going to push in the top lane here. Get themselves a little bit of damage up here.
Yeah, and that's going to force Malthael to go up and deal with that here. The rotation from the rest of CC and K is going to be interrupted by Murden, but that's going to stall out getting onto the point. But Ragnaros, not taking that bait, is going to come down and push Cassie off, and that's going to give the channel over to the red team here for a little bit. They do have the biotic emitter, but at least one turret available for Malthael here. And there goes the bio emitter. Malthael getting pulled in, does not drop the turret, and the channel not yet going over. Still contested here, but it will eventually flip over to the red side now. Top lane evening out there. A little bit of an XP advantage for the red team here. And Murden going to try to gather some of that XP. Is coming up again right into the team entirely by himself. Just does not care.
Look, it hasn't hurt him yet.
Absolutely. Here comes a big burst of damage into the red team. Stukov doing what they can to keep things up here. But they are falling back, trying to get this tap, but they lose the objective if they don't stand on it at all. So it looks like that's going to go over to Hot's Potato.
Yeah, Joe pulled in all of the members of Hot's Potato there, and they were able to get a lot of damage in, but they weren't able to get any kills. And that almost turned really bad for Cool Cats, and they had to give the objective.
Your Rainer had gone back to pick up the siege camp, and that gave Hot's Potato the go-ahead to push in, and coming back, Rainer just wasn't quite able to get there in time to push them off. And once again, Murden, they need to find some way to really control him, and most likely it's got to be a combination between Stukov and, like, probably Johanna.
Oh, Joe.
Not going to make it out. Protector there getting the last little bit of damage with that minigun. And level 10s now are here for Cool Cats and Kittens. Speaking of level 10s, here comes the lava wave. Nero's going to take a lot of the damage from it. It's probably saved by that penetrating round from Rainer, I think.
Yeah.
But also Rainer was very low, so a little bit of self-interest there.
Yep. And Hot's Potato, while they did get that kill onto Johanna, they didn't manage to secure the well. So as of right now, Cool Cats still has that up in the top lane for them going into the second objective.
Both teams going to pick up their siege camps, as Hot's Potato now level 10 as well. And they've got all of these heroics available. So the lava wave used, and Asmodan with his Tide of Sin. That's a very short cooldown, so he's going to be clearing minion waves even faster. But as this game goes on, and he's got the cooldown reduction now, he's at 245. As this game goes on, it's going to get more and more damage here, so we'll have to see how quickly he can get to 400 stacks, finish up the additional damage.
Yep.
Our solo laner is going to swap between mid and bot. Murden going in again. Is going to be able to pull back
big
for a
silence.
moment. Oh, the Condemn pulls him in. This is their opportunity to get the kill. Looking for it as Whitemane drops her ultimate and Stukov shoving Murden away. They can't quite get to him, but can they get the Whitemane as a compensation? They do, and Nero now having to pull back. Maybe more here. They've got 5-man all up here. Rainer getting pulled in by
There's
the Valkyrie.
But he's fine.
Just fine. No worries. Born to Shine. It hasn't hurt him yet. Famous last words. Well, it did hurt him.
It almost did there. Yeah, it did.
But it actually got Whitemane killed, so.
The Condemn into Blessed Shield from Johanna there, but Murden slippery. He still managed to make it out. Again, at the cost of his healer. This poor Whitemane. Her teammates are not very nice to her. Support the supports.
Ragnaros here going in. Did not realize a full team was behind that wall. But the cavalry coming in here.
He has a team too.
Right? Gul'dan taking a massive globe of annihilation to the face there. Nero jumping out this time. Gets a big stun onto Rainer. Looking for that damage from Gul'dan, but stepping up a little bit too much. Has to pull away.
Oh,
not sure
Nero?
if Nero... Yeah, there it is. Everything's fine. Murden is just fine. Took a globe. Still fine. Does have that level 1 completed, so keep in mind there's some adjustments to that level 1 trait talent that Murden gets. So it was a little while ago, but just in case you didn't know this, not only does he hit 2 targets with it now, it also every auto attack gives him mana. So this is kind of a weird setup. We have Johanna looking for Cassia and Whitemane with a whole bunch of red heroes walking the wrong way on the conveyor belt with Murden on the other side. And nothing happens out of it. Okay, well, Valkyrie's gonna catch the Rainer, and this is a bad place for Rainer. Big shove onto Murden probably did keep Rainer alive. The Horrify coming out as Johanna using the Unstoppable. Asmodan getting stunned, but has a pretty hefty health pool, so he's able to pull away. Just casually walk away on those 6 legs.
Yeah. Asmodan up to 309 stacks with that big globe there.
309. And these globes are hurting. I mean, if he takes the additional damage at level 16, it's I think it's 4% now. It was originally 5%, but now 4%. That can be massive. Muradin getting stunned and silenced here. Oh my goodness! What a massive globe! Johanna, though, going down, does complete the subdue. Nero jumping onto the point. They're looking for Crouton as Ragnar's having to pull back. Muradin finally goes down here as now Malthael in there does get silenced.
Oh my God.
Is going to get taken out, but they get the Stukov. Cassia falling as well, and the biotic emitter picked up. Go back into the healing. Oh my goodness.
Man,
that globe.
It's a good thing Jimmy had his heal up because he wanted to stay in the biotic emitter, but there was a turret that was just going to kill him if he stayed in.
Yeah, and the Gul'dan dot damage, right? I mean, that was the
that was the killer.
He was definitely out of it because of that, so he had to do one or the other. So that came up just in time for him.
Yeah, and Asmodean up to 362 now. Literal scaling comp.
Yeah, the later this game goes, the more difficult it becomes for Hot's Potato. Asmodean able to send Demon Lieutenants to other lanes and provide additional push while they have these fights on the control points. Big stun, though, from Nero. Lubidium, though, says, nah, not today. 57% on the channel. Now, Ragnar's having to pull... Yeah, I was going to say, pull away here.
Yeah, I mean, Rag could just do his little take over the fort thing there and then make this very good for them. But he's going to go get the turret down in the bot lane, it looks like.
Yeah, and Malthael heading down because, as mentioned, that Demon Lieutenant pushing up the wave and bringing a ton of damage onto this bottom fort. And... yeah, well, never mind. We'll come back to that. Stun out onto Raynor. Nero gonna be able to pull away here. They're looking now. That exposes the backline entirely. A big globe coming out, but the spell armor is gonna keep Gul'dan pretty healthy. 40 spell armor there. No big deal. Lava Wave gonna push down bottom lane, though. And between Lava Wave and Demon Lieutenants, that bottom lane is probably gonna go down here soon. Valkyrie hits onto the Asmodean. And... Divine Reckoning coming out. There's the globe. Gonna get the kill onto Whitemane. Ragnaros deep into the team. Is Fear trying to stay alive, but doesn't make it. And Cassie with barely double-digit health is gonna make it out, though. I think the silence got interrupted there, so otherwise Muradin probably could have died, but that fort does go down. And Muradin not done. Oh, jumping out of the globe.
Yeah, and in bot lane, Asmodean, Ragwave, all that good stuff does take down the bottom fort for the Cool Cats and Kittens, and now they've got this objective as well.
And it looks like Asmodean finished his 400 stacks there, so all set with that. Also took Hell Rift here, so a little bit different, not taking the globes for the additional percentage. Raynor getting stunned as he gets out of the protector, though.
Oh, okay. We're just switching back in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of makes sense, although Asmodean has been kind of a really impactful hero for them in this, so the Raynor has the self-healing, and I think that's probably why they've got him in there. But yeah, this is looking a little tight.
Yeah, it's scary to have your support in there, because then you don't have real heals. But Ragnaros, by the way...
Raynor's going to get taken out by Muradin in the backline, though. Molten Core helping to stop the Cassie with that big stun, and Horvath is going to go down. The last right's getting just enough value for that.
Muradin's ready. He's been training all game for this. He's going to 1v1 anyone that's in his way.
Certainly what he's trying to do here is going to get the stun onto Rag. Now going to take some tower shots, but yeah. It's not going to be enough to force him away. The protector going to fall.
Man. Muradin doesn't need a medallion to be unstoppable. This is dwarven courage.
It's a state of mind, not a game mechanic.
For real.
So ultimately, you know, the funny thing is Cool Cats and Kittens got more out of the pre-objective than they got out of the objective.
Okay, he's got friends now.
Yeah, forcing Hot's Potato to fight gave them the lava waves, gave them the demon lieutenants, and all the extra push in those other lanes. They were able to get that top fort thanks to all of that as well. But now XP is almost even, but the item advantage very slightly here in favor of Hot's Potato. Actually, not slightly, it's entirely in favor of Hot's Potato.
Yeah, that was a really kind of awkward objective phase for Cool Cats and Kittens once they had the Protector, and it's kind of allowed Hot's Potato to get their momentum back in this game, and like you said, catch up in the experience and in the item game. This is maybe the first time all game they've had an advantage in items.
And they get to level 20 first. So we'll see. They don't have a lot of time with that advantage, so they're not gonna do anything crazy with it. We'll have to see how this works out. Bottom lane is mounting up, though. Again, we have a catapult, we have a demon lieutenant who's gonna provide a lot of pressure there. So
yeah, 2 seconds on another lava wave being able to come in from the rag.
And it looks like Hot's Potato recognizing that and gonna come down and clear this out pretty quickly. And they want to stick together, all except for Nero.
One-man army, let's go. Look, Murden can heal himself if he doesn't take damage, you know? Who does he need?
And he's got a bio emitter, so, you know,
right.
I mean, that's 40% extra health. With an avatar, I mean, his health pool's got to be insane at this point. But we're kind of in that lull of Volskaya Foundry where there's not a ton to do. You just kind of keep your lanes from being too pressured. Mostly, of course, for Hot's Potato because of all the additional that Cool Cats and Kittens can bring here. And
yeah, Cool Cats does kind of have a positional advantage here in that they've still got their fort and their well here for this objective down in the bot lane. Bush party. Oh, what? What just happened? Did they not see her?
Great unstoppable there to prevent the stun from Muradin. Johanna, though, very low, is going to get pulled back in. There's the indestructible being procced, but she's going to fall anyways. And Biotic Emitter did not go down? Did not go down. That was the Divine Reckoning. So, yeah, just the kill onto Johanna. Now, the death timers at this level, if they were already on the point, it's enough to prevent Cool Cats and Kittens from being able to make it all the way down to the bottom and actually contesting it. Because they've taken a little bit of time to get that turret, there will be that possibility.
Yeah.
Osiris, the technical answer is no, but as we've already discussed with Muradin, everything about Muradin is just a state of mind. So if you keep hitting people with it, then it's going to do more damage, right? You get higher levels. So sure, why not? We'll go with yes. 50% complete. Johanna going to be up in just a few seconds here. So they're now at that threshold where they'd have to be moving down there. Rainer's up above here, going to send out that team or that siege camp. I don't know that there's enough time really for them to go in unless they do it risky, and it looks like they're not going to do that at all.
Yeah, and Cool Cats has had a push going in the top lane. This one champion catapult took down the front wall up here, and now there's a siege camp coming as well that Hot's Potato will have to respond to.
Yeah, and they're sending
and the
Muradin,
one-man army is going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I was going to say, this becomes now a little bit more dangerous to have this Protector. You don't want to be too far ahead. We already saw that earlier with Cool Cats and Kittens, where the Protector got isolated from the team, and then the team died.
Yeah, and Gul'dan doesn't really have... He's not a fast boy. He has a Horrify,
did he take
but that's all he got.
Okay, he took the Haunt upgrade. But they've got Murden back now, Malthael and Cassia, so a lot of damage is sitting in that Protector. And Lava Wave's going to go out in the middle to keep all of the lanes pushed here. No minions allowed for Hot's Potato. Wall down, and Protector's going to focus its damage in on the structure, which makes sense. It does bonus damage to structures here. But that gives Johanna the opportunity to come into the backline. Murden, however, looking for the Ragnaros. And really, I think just trying to keep the team busy to make sure that the backline is safe, but also prevent as much damage going on to the Protector as possible. Here comes that second Lava Wave. They get a big stun, but nobody's quite in it.
That was almost so bad.
It was close. It was real close. Stukov's going to get pulled in by the Valkyrie. Ragnaros and Raynor, however, taken out. And now
turn.
Muradin with the Avatar going to get another kill there onto the Stukov, make it a quad with Asmodan going down as well. And that's going to give Hot's Potato a push right onto the core. The thumbs up coming out. And Johanna, I don't think she has a whole lot she can add to this, but she can stall things out. Made the chance there, pulled everybody into those missiles.
Yeah.
And it looks like with the kill onto Johanna, Hot's Potato taking game number 3. Two to one in favor of Hot's Potato, and this has been a very back and forth series. You know, the first game, Hot's Potato had most of the kills. They won that game, but barely. Game number 2, Cool Cats and Kittens had most of the kills. They had better macro. They won that game. Game number 3, I would say overall that Cool Cats and Kittens had the better macro, but Hot's Potato had Muradin.
Right. One-man army Muradin really coming in clutch. And that was, I mean, honestly, that was another game where it kind of could have come down to just the one team fight there. After the Protector, Hot's Potato was kind of ahead in structures, but there was so much pressure in all the lanes from the Rag Asmodan that if that fight had gone the other way and Cool Cats walk away with that, they probably come away with the game too.
Yeah, and the other thing, Hot's Potato was much more spread out in that last fight, especially. So the value of like the Johanna Asmodan combo just wasn't coming across.
Yeah.
And I didn't write down the draft. Hold up. Got to pull up the stream so I can snip what heroes were picked there. Oh, I guess it's in my other screen. Never mind.
Shout out to Malthael's 645 healing / shielding. Big numbers.
Is that to other people?
I think my team decided that the Protector shielding that you do for people gives you that.
Yeah. All right, and it looks like we've got game number 4 here, and I'm stoked.
Yeah.
This
could be another 5-game series for us, Aero.
It could be, and this is the map that I prefer to have on a game 5, but I'll accept it on a game 4.
Yeah, we're at a point where this can be the last game of the series. So this is a good time for the Towers of Doom. Anything is possible as long as you have at least 1 health on your core.
So, man, I don't know. The Arthas was really strong game 1. The Muradin was really strong game 3. The Diablo was pretty strong game 2. But I felt like they were able to play around it better. Do you think maybe they consider banning out the Muradin this game?
Maybe, yeah. He just didn't care about anything, and they were never able to punish him for how aggressive he was.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking they might consider that, because other heroes, like he did the same thing on Diablo and Arthas. So this is the play style of Nero. So force him onto a hero that can't do everything that he wants and then also immediately get out from anywhere.
Yeah. Gets out, and then he can just wait 2 seconds and heal back up, and then he can come back in.
Well, he didn't take third wind. It was going to take a couple more seconds than that, but yeah.
Okay, Aero, I was exaggerating.
How dare you?
I feel ashamed.
You should. Everybody wants a game 5 here, so we'll have to see. That means that Cool Cats and Kittens needs to step up their game and win this one here. The real question is, what's the score going to be? Okay, Lulu, predict the score.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be? Obviously, one team will be 0. What do you think the other team will have?
I want some drama here. I want a 1-0 win for the Cool Cats and Kittens.
Oh, you want another 1-0 win?
Yeah.
We've already had one. You want a second one.
Yeah, they lost the one last time.
Mm-hmm.
They can get the win here. Oh, co-caster Flynn has entered the room.
Flynn being the derpy one on Lulu's portrait there.
Yes, my orange boy. Kerrigan ban. Smart. Never change that.
This is my shocked face. As we get the exact same bans as the last two games. Was Brightwing banned by the other team in game 1? No, same team. Hots Potato does not want to have Brightwing in this game at all, period. Doesn't matter who's playing first.
Just think about how much that Brightwing could have messed up the one-man army. I mean, come on.
That is true. That is true.
Tracer ban coming out again?
It wouldn't have mattered who it was, whether it was Murden or whomever. There are several times that would have been if you have Brightwing as your healer, that Nero just dies. So that makes a lot of sense based on the playstyle of their tank, why they have this Brightwing ban so high priority.
Right. So what's going to be the first pick from the Cool Cats and Kittens here?
I mean, they've had a lot of Rainer, but they've not been picking it, I think, until late. So they're going back into that ETC.
Worked really well for them.
It did. ETC did a lot of zoning for his team, and that was really important in that second game. It also would be really helpful here for zoning out against anybody coming in for the objective. And most of the tanks that you might see out of Nero, but there you go. There's the Anubrak that's been banned out.
Yeah.
Anubrak, another tank that can just kind of leave, but he's a little bit more exposed than Murden. He doesn't quite have that same level of survivability.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching. Did Cassie go Ball Lightning? She went Valkyrie.
Yeah, and now we have the Cassia over for Beowulf on the Cool Cats and Kittens this game. Taking that away from Hots Potato.
It's hard to win the offlane when they have a Pocket Brightwing. True. Yep.
So, I'm going to tell you something from when I played Cool Cats and Kittens. If I remember correctly, they had not played Towers of Doom all season going into round 1 of the playoffs. And we took them here, and they played Lost Vikings against us. And it was a pain in the butt. So I'll be curious to see if they make a return in this game.
I mean, it looks like it could so far. With what they've got, I could certainly see that happening. Gazlo's going to be banned out. Haven't seen the little green goblin at all yet this series in bans or picks, but he's a really strong hero still. And there goes the white main ban.
That's a good call, I think.
So we're gonna find out what Evil Shimmer has available in in their pocket here. It's going to be Stukov.
Fair. But I mean, I think that's a smart thing to do. They've been playing the white main all night. Like, make them show something else. Make them do something else.
The Falstad is a good pick for this, along with that Stukov. So we're going to have to see if they have a little bit of potential anti-synergy. They've got the Gust. They've got the whichever ult Stukov takes. But Falstad gives them that global potential to deal with Vikings if Cool Cats and Kittens take it, and they do. And there's that Rainer that I mentioned. So we could see Falstad doing a little bit in the off lane. It's actually going to be Malthael, but that gives them a 4-man Falstad, or it could give them a 4-man Malthael. 4-man? 4-lane. 4-man? There we go. Words.
4-lane, yep.
4 lanes, exactly. There are 4 lanes on
They're
Towers
just
of
on
Doom.
another level. They found the 4th lane of the game. Although, I mean, you could almost say that New Warhead has one, or it's the 4th lane is just going from like the top portal to the bottom portal to go between the lanes.
I mean, you can say
that's
just about anything that you want.
Have you played New Warhead?
I have, yes.
Okay, all right. Just checking. I've only gotten to play it once, and it was a grand time.
All right, let's see. Here, let me fix that. I'm doing the pop-ups. Oh, it's still going.
What?
See if I can get up to start over. There we go. All right. We're good. Let's go ahead and start the introductions.
Alrighty. For this game 4 on Towers of Doom, for the Cool Cats and Kittens, we've got Beowulf on the Cassia, Descalada on Raynor, Crazy for Haruno on the Lost Vikings, Lubidium on Lucio, and Horvath on the ETC.
All right, and over here for Hot's Potato, we've got Nero on the Anubarak. We got Evil Shimmer on Stukov, Miss Crouton on the Gul'dan. Falstad can be played by Pasta Impasta, and Malthael going to be played by Snooters. Yeah, I feel proud of myself knowing that.
Snooters is still
now.
a great name. Actually, there's a lot of good names for the hot potatoes.
All right, so Falstad is going to hang out in the mid lane at least to start. I mean, we could see Malthael double soaking. He's got Pale Horse, so kind of assume that. Now, Nero diving in, that's a big problem. And suddenly, this game opening up for Cool Cats and Kittens, they are making a statement saying, you know what? You did that all game last game, not today. This is our time.
You are not on Muradin any, by the way.
And with that Raynor, they're able to really just push the Raynor and Cassia. They're really able to push that damage into that Anubarak. He doesn't quite have that same health pool, especially with the physical armor that that he had taken at level 1 on the Muradin. So gonna have to play this a little bit differently to keep Anubarak alive.
Yeah, and that's a really good start for the Cool Cats and Kittens. They're able to get that top tower down. They've started a little ahead of the game on their camp, but it's pretty close this time. We'll see
Giblet says,
who, if anyone, gets to push in their pumpkins.
yeah, and this is, you know, usually you don't see a whole lot out of this. But the positive thing here for Cool Cats and Kittens is that with that kill, they were able to get a tower down. So they're in a really good position with that. Especially with the 3 altar phase coming up here soon in about 30 seconds. And the first altar is going to be kind of in the midsection as opposed to the bottom.
Yep.
Now, Falstad went into the Seasoned Marksman, so he's going to get that haste eventually. 1 Pumpkin Sapper left, though, dealing with those beetles. It's gone now. ETC was kind of looking at that Falstad, but with the Anubarak kind of out of the area, not really sure that they could get the kill. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horvath is looking for that. He knows that Anubrak exposes every time that burrow charge comes out and doesn't hit.
Oh, Rainer.
But right now, here's the other aspect for Anubrak. Mana goes quickly on Anubrak, so gonna have to be mindful of that. ETC getting stunned by the Impale, and Anubrak going in deep. Does have the burrow charge out, does get that stun onto Horvath, but no damage to do anything about it here, as a trade in the top half of the map here. 4-4. Malthael gonna come on down, as so does Eric, working on Nero and diving in. They should be able to get the kill. They do. And the follow-up potential here now, looking for the Falstad. And do you know what enabled them to get that kill? It was the Eric coming in.
Vikings helping.
Rainer chasing down Gul'dan, not able to get the kill, but push him off. And the Vikings team picking up 2 altars out of 3 here. They also have the talent advantage, almost a full level lead. Although that going away a little bit as Malthael picking up that soak up in the top here.
So, with Malthael versus Vikings, can he just kind of farm Blast Rights stacks off of them? Or is that not an easy thing to do?
I think so. I mean, because his Soul Rip does just damage. It's not percent damage like his damage over time. Mm-hmm. If the Vikings at 13 take the jump, then no, because they'll just immune.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
So
Makes
we'll
sense.
see. They may not take that. They may take the percent damage so that they can, do even more team fight damage. Vikings onto a Nubrak would be pretty much just dead if he burrows. All right, so potato sappers, apparently not pumpkin sappers. They're not around. These are potato sappers. Gonna make their way over. They're gonna meet this minion wave though, so they should be able to be cleared up.
Oh, that's funny, Aero, because they look like they're cool cat sappers to me in the top lane.
There you go. All right, altar coming up. We see the power slide.
Land
Gul'dan
there.
taken out quickly. And with the reverse amp here, the slow coming out from Lucio, Asta and Pasta getting very close. Escalada almost getting that penetrating round, but not quite. And now we're going to see Eric head down to pick up the tribute, not the altar, as they get the kill on the Falstad.
On this camp.
Nero might look to stall this out, is not quite going to get the burrow, and can't quite
so
make it.
I was like a 10th of a second late there from the noob.
Sorry, I was just trying to keep up with chat here. Thanks for the sub there, Hydro. Appreciate it. For the Nexus Gaming series here. So again, folks, we're in game 4 out of a best of 5. So this could very well be the last game. It is Cool Cats and Kittens life on the line here, basically. There's the Valkyrie pulling the Falstad, gets the stun from ETC as well, but the burrow charge is going to save him, at least for the moment. The Lucio not quite able to get enough auto attack damage. Hyperion going to get some damage onto the fort there, but not positioned to be able to take out the Falstad. But Nero doesn't have any health or mana really at this point, so there's not a lot to push Cool Cats and Kittens off at this point.
Yeah, they didn't get kills, but they were able to do a lot of damage. They're up 10s.
Falstad's looking for this gust. He's going to get the power slide though, so I think that was a pretty good play, because if they didn't leave at that exact moment, or if Falstad, barrel rolled a moment earlier, that gust turns into a bad day. Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah.
Nope, we got to pause.
You see the ETC bot running back to base so he can hearth?
Oh, nope, I didn't see that, but now I do. Yep, we got one character disconnected here, so ETC taking himself a break. We'll come back to us. Yeah, so many letters. What does it mean? Mark Zombie recognizing the Vikings, acknowledging their strength and power. And for what it's worth, we do have altars coming up here. It's going to be the two in the top lane, top half of the map. I suppose it's not in the top lane. And so far, the score 36-28. The Vikings have been instrumental in both of the prior objectives.
Yeah, definitely. Vikings on this map as well. They've been doing some work here. And
they also have a pretty decent lead in XP, about a little bit more than half. So again, the Vikings doing a lot of work there. Checking in just on their experience totals, they're pretty close with Malthael. They're only about 900 or so ahead on that side of things. So Malthael doing a really good job keeping up. I mean, one player versus one character versus essentially two in those other lanes. So doing a good job to keep things going there. And hopefully we hear back from ETC soon.
Yep. Uh-oh. Whole internet cutting in and out. That's not what you like to hear.
Yeah, no bueno. All right, let's take a short break. I'm going to get a drink myself here real quick. So we'll put on some good old Blizzard stuff, and we'll be right back as we wait for our DC'd player to return.
Ignorance will be your undoing. No one can stop me.
You want original or extra crispy? Smells like victory.
No way! You got all of them? Best gift ever! I'm Stitches. It's time to play. Not so fast, Stitches. I am Dahaka, and I'm here to eat you. Nom 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 nom. No! Who will help me? Oh, villain! I am Valera. Stop eating that bear, or I will have to punish you. No, you won't. I'll get you, Dahaka. Never. Little did you know, this was part of my game all along. Can the heroes of the storm win? Probably!
I am beyond your comprehension, mortal. All of creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell. Attack! Show no weakness!
Good day, my friend.
Retreat! Get out of there!
And we materialized. Well done indeed. Now to cross you off the list.
We require these. Obtain them.
On my way! La-di-da-di-da-da!
Let us slaughter together.
Impressive, Archer. But you'll need to do better than that.
You have no idea what I am capable of.
Good. Because you must be ready for anything.
Yield!
You show promise, Hanzo. Well done. But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
You shall pay for this treachery. Come and take your punishment.
It's boom time! Pedal to the metal. Let's get this party started. And I'm out of here.
Are you trying to show me up? You're a bother. My wrath takes form.
Calling for a retreat. Smell you later.
Light condemn you.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be too much fun. Someone should probably stop us.
All right, we're back a little bit early. We don't have the confirmation from the teams, but it sounds like they should be on here soon. So thought we'd come back, take you away from all of the fun and excitement that was the past glory of Blizzard commercials, as I call them. I guess I don't know what you'd officially call them, but
Like the promo vids.
promo vids and things like that for the various events that they did. Yeah. So, so we're currently in the middle of Towers of Doom. The score is 28-36 in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens. We have our third objective coming up here in just a moment with the double altar in the top half. And we have an ETC that's backing because he's a bot.
But hopefully he will be back in when we go back live in the match.
Hopefully, yeah, and close in with the team so they can finish those pumpkin sappers. That might leave Falstad in the bottom right now here. to clear those out so that they can use that fly to get up in the altars. Or they may just let it go. But letting it go could be a problem. The bottom bell tower is already at half health.
Well, Aero, I'm sure the cold bothered them anyway.
Indeed. Honestly, I was waiting for you to make some kind of Frozen pun. Yeah, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
You
a.
haven't even seen
Lulu
that
stream.
movie, right?
I've not seen that movie.
It's a shame.
Yeah. I probably should one of these days. I have Disney Plus, but I've been too busy enjoying the stellar performance of The Mandalorian, and if you have not been watching that, you have been missing out. It is that show alone is worth the $6, $7, whatever it is, going to be increasing to $8 soon for Disney Plus.
Yeah, I haven't seen her yet.
You're missing out. It is really, really good. And it looks like
I know. Hopefully
seems bad.
after the new year stuff, can start watching.
Yeah, it looks like we've got hopefully everybody here, so we're just waiting for the ready from both teams to make sure. As of course, with a little bit of a break, some people may have needed to go to the bathroom or something. So we'll see if everybody's here. Now, the interesting thing is that this kind of a break. Hold on, let me message them on Discord. This kind of a break oftentimes can switch momentum very easily, and it's so far the momentum has been in favor of Cool Cats and Kittens. It could shift very easily, especially have a Vikings if they're kind of thrown off their synergy. $8.99. Okay, thanks. So we'll have to see how this turns out for them, but you know, you want CC and K to keep things going, because then we get a game 5.
Yeah, it can definitely kind of mess with your momentum coming back from a long pause, but we'll see how this goes for both teams. As Cool Cats, looks like they maybe just want to like push this in and let the Vikings try and stall or cap top.
I'm not sure about that call.
It is a choice they have made.
And it's a choice that they've abandoned, and they're going to pay heavily for it. They're going to lose 8 points because of that. Their whole advantage there gone, but they get the Valkyrie out onto Gul'dan, and they're looking to maybe get it. Yeah, there's the mosh pit onto the back line. Malthael and Stukov, can they get enough here? Malthael getting that flip, and Stukov going to be taken out here in just a moment as well, I would imagine. There it is. So, okay, maybe they get the boss now. So, definitely a questionable decision there to try to push that in and get the bottom fort, and not doing it. At that point, they should have just done it. They would have lost 6 points instead of the 8, but this gives them the boss.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they kind of forgot the timers coming back from the pause, or maybe they just thought that what are their names? Hot Potatoes would just, you know, kind of trade 1 for 1 there, which they didn't. And by the way, buy a noob.
Yeah, and almost kind of seeing what we had seen previously out of Aero with the Muradin, being really far forward, not really worried too much about the positioning of the other team. But it turns out Burrow Charge just not quite enough to get him over the wall, even with the Cocoon out onto ETC as a desperate attempt to stay alive. Just not there. Lucio able to get the boop and the kill. Valkyrie a little bit wide for the Falstad, and Lucio trying to push up here with that speed boost, keeping in mind the slow with reverse amp as well. But we've got a double altar coming. This is in the 2 in the bottom. So it would be real easy for, I was going to say, for one Viking to come down and get this bottom camp. They might actually get both, especially with a kill onto Falstad, though. Malthael going to chase down Eric.
Yeah,
and
this is perfect timing for Cool Cats to get that bot lane fort while there's the double objective coming on bot lane, which just makes the bottommost altar pretty impossible to contest over. with the kill onto the Falstad. They can't contest the middle objective either.
And they are going to get both of those here. Rainer's going to start working on the siege camp. Go ahead and talk for a little bit. I have to cough. I have to mute real quick.
Okay, alright, so, you know, Cool Cats, they're going to be content to kind of just play defense here because they've got the bot tower, and that's really what you want on this map. Malthael is able to take the top camp, so the Vikings can't take that one again, and he is going to get all of that pushed in the top lane. So that's something good for the Hot Potatoes. And now comes the game of trying to keep the bot fort and try to take it back.
Now, Malthael does need to be a little bit careful because that level 13 for the Vikings is that percentage, right? Nordic attack squad. So whenever the 3 Vikings are together, that's a lot of additional damage.
Dude, the Gul'dan poison onto minions is just their entire health bar at this point. Ooh.
Big burrow charge with the Silence Cocoon out onto ETC, so they've lost their front line, at least for the moment. ETC coming back out, has another Silence to deal with as Falstad gonna fall to the Rainer. There is still 1 Pumpkin Sapper up, sorry, 2. And that's gonna be 1 across the line. The Beetle's gonna stop the other one. So just the 1 point additional there for Cool Cats and Kittens. And the score 28-12 here now. Man, and I talked about the momentum shift, it didn't happen.
Yeah, the sound barrier there, it like saved and won the game for Cool Cats earlier, and now it just, you know, saved that fight for them and really turned it around where they were able to get a kill for themselves. When it looked like a really strong engage from Hot Potatoes.
Well, Cool Cats and Kittens have another siege camp here, ready to try to push in as Lucio gathering the bottom. Falstad pushing up top to keep Balog from gathering that altar. One of them actually did get through. And with the other 2 altars, that's 10 more points. There's just 1 point left on the Hot Potato core. Oh, and Gul'dan getting caught by the Valkyrie. Is it enough to kill him? They do go into the death zone, and ETC going a little bit farther for the Stukov here. And that's a double kill for Cool Cats and Kittens. They just need 1 more point. They could get it from 6 capping. Oh, goodbye, Olaf. You talked about farming the last rights kills. Well, there's 1 more.
Yeah, and I mean, this is not a fun place to be if you're the Hot Potatoes, but at the same time, this is also the thing on this map. You have 1 health. You know, you can hold that and just come back and win this. That's still very doable here. The Vikings make it a bit more difficult, but they are still in this.
Well, they get the mid fort now here. Malthael being taken out by the Vikings. And I mentioned that's a lot of damage. He's got to be careful. But ETC is going to get caught at the bottom fort. So that's going to flip over here to Hot Potato. And that's really important for them. This is the most important lane, especially with siege camps coming back up. They now have to be careful of top and bottom, most especially. Cassia getting put into the cocoon. The Impale just missing there. And Valkyrie also just missing. So a couple of abilities there. Could have led to some kills. But just the ETC kill earlier. Now Vikings are pushing up top lane here. They're going to send them down into the fight. I think they're going to bring them into this. Oh, they're going to go boss. This is a big problem here for Hot Potato because, I mean, this ends the game.
Are they going to scout this? Okay, they're going up to it. Someone's got to take this altar.
They've got the Gul'dan with the Horrify, but...
Okay, we got the Gust on Falstad. So, I mean, this should just be their boss. So they got that taken care of. However, the altar is still up.
Yeah, there's no Stukov here. Cassia doing some work onto the Malthael. They get that kill. So 2 kills in trade of the boss here. And now they're heading down to pick up the altar. Stukov in massive danger, going to get taken out by Cassia. And Nero is pulling away, but has to try to go back in as the channel is being completed here by ETC. And that's going to be game number 4 going over to Cool Cats and Kittens.
Now, I was mostly right in my score prediction. I just forgot the 2 out of it. So I was like 75% correct.
Sure. Very, very close. Yeah. All right. So again, I mean, this has been back and forth. The teams that have been winning have been the ones with, you know, significant kill counts. They're doing well here. So I don't know what to expect out of game 5. I mean, it's been back and forth, but the winning team for the most part, with the exception of like game one kind of coin flip on that one, I think, at the end. But the winning team has generally been the team that has all of the kills. So I don't know. I want to see a game out of game 5 that is going to be just a close game.
We're going to Alterac, Aero.
All right.
Okay, so this is another map pick by Hot Potato, it looks like.
4 in a row.
Yeah, they always wanted map pick. Cool Cat wanted pick. I'm interested to see, I mean, for all macro wise, Cool Cats has really been kind of more of it than Hot Potato has. Not so much last game because it's pretty clear you get the sappers when they're up. So we'll see how it plays on. There is the siege camp that is really important here. And so I'm not sure we'll see the Hot Potato like put the emphasis of like must do the camp right away, or if they'll be kind of not as prioritize it as much.
You know, they've won one game with Vikings. They almost won another game with Vikings. This is a map that I could see maybe having Vikings on. I don't know.
I was thinking about that too. I'm not sure. I don't remember from my scouting I did. Like possibly, but there's not really much in way of camps for them. There's the one camp and bosses.
Yeah, but you also have an objective that, you know, depending on the teams, can be a longer fight. You know,
yeah, for sure.
Some teams prefer not to even bother, and you'll see, you know, nobody going for the first objective until they've got their level 10s. Other teams, you'll see the moment that's up, everybody's heading there. And if that's how this plays out, then Vikings would be a great pick. And if it's, you know, the latter, then Vikings would be a terrible pick. So it would just depend on, you know, how they've seen the teams playing this particular map. If they've even seen it, I don't know how much they play it.
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, you know, Alterac is not a pick that's a map that has gotten picked all that much in NGS this season. So I'm not sure how much experience these teams have with it. Hot Potato sees something they like here, so we'll see what they've got for this Game 5 final game for the Div D Grand Finals.
Yeah, the only map not being picked here was Dragonshire, which is unfortunate. I think that would have been another fun map to see.
I think that would have been another Vikings map to see.
I mean, it certainly could have been, yeah.
Maybe there's a reason they didn't go there.
Possibly. Barbaric says, I'm glad it's going to Game 5. Now it's got that Super Bowl feel. It certainly does. I mean, this is the end of the season. You've got the powerhouses from each division here, the Division D West, Division D East, and they've both won 2 games. And this is it. This is everything. So this is where they pull out those heroes that they've been playing, but maybe haven't shown. And you know what? They said, hey, we're not dealing with the TLV.
Smart. Yeah, not taking the risk. I think that's a really good call because they have just been so strong for Cool Cats. Also, the white main coming out as the first ban here. Do they remember Kerrigan exists? Yes, they do.
I was going to say.
Okay,
but the other thing is, do we see the Brightwing? And I'm pretty sure that's the next ban. Because Brightwing would be really good here, too.
Yep. Yeah. There it is. No hesitation there.
All right, so Raynor would be another strong hero here, and they've played Raynor like 4 games, so I think that Cool Cats and Kittens at some point in this draft are likely to pick Raynor. It's not going to be the beginning. They're going to stick with that ETC, and why not? They've won both games with ETC. This has gone back and forth, literally. Blue team, red team, blue team, red team. Cool Cats and Kittens looking to break
there's that Tracer they've been banning a lot of games. Pasta and Pasta gets to bust it out here, and back to the Gul'dan again. Oh, I like that he matched the color. Have they been matching colors across the team the whole game? I haven't watched. I don't know.
You remember that part where I said I don't see the skins?
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Kael'thas making a return and bringing in the Uther for Lupidium.
Makes sense. I mean, the Uther can help to lock down that Tracer when she wants to try to dive in. You get the point click stun, maybe have that follow up with a Divine Storm.
Aero, does Cool Cats, do they choke all? I mean, this was their shtick for a while. If choke all was available, they were gonna choke all. We haven't seen any all night.
There's no, I mean, I don't know. Uther doesn't do a whole lot of healing, so I feel like that would be...
It's nice to have dreams.
Yeah.
I am also curious about the Ragnaros because he can be such a pain on this map, and it is a very comfortable pick for Cool Cats and Kittens.
There's that Murden ban.
Yep. No one-man army today. Well, in this game.
Yeah, they didn't ban it last game, which they left up the Anubrak here. They took it out this time. I was just trying to... Oh, man. One sec. Gotta plug in the headset. We've been doing this too long. All right, Johanna Stukov. So once again, we actually saw that game too, but on the other side. Or no, that was that game 2? That was game 3 with the Asmodan.
Jimmy, and who's it gonna be in the 5th spot? Beowulf. It's Rag, right? Or do they bring back the Kira or something? The suspense.
I feel like I'd be surprised. Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be the Rag, based on what they've picked previously. So.
Yeah. And I mean, with as close as some of these objective points are to your forts, Ragnaros is such a pain in the butt on this map.
Right.
It's like, okay, I guess we don't play the game for a little while until he's gone.
With all the talk about the Super Bowl, chat talking about a Weenus halftime show, that's pretty hilarious. Last pick gonna be Malthael.
Making a comeback.
So, all right, Malthael can do a lot of spread damage, as can Gul'dan, which is great into the Uther. If Uther takes Divine Shield, then Last Rites is easily canceled. I think they want to take Divine Storm, though, with the Tracer to help lock that down. But Malthael then can look at taking Tormented Souls. So, I don't know. And Kara Charles says they got the Holy Cow. They sure did. And this is it. I mean, this is the last game of a best-of-5 series at the end of the season. They gotta win. And by they, I mean whichever team wins.
Yeah. And we'll see this Tracer that's been banned all night. We'll see if she's gonna be what brings them the win here, or if Cool Cats has an answer to that with the Uther.
All right, well, let's get our teams introduced for the last time. Lulu, take it away.
All right, Game 5, Cool Cats and Kittens. We have Beowulf on the Ragnaros, Horvath on the ETC, Descolada on the Raynor, Crazy for Haruno on the Kael'thas, and Lupidium busting out the Uther.
All right, and for Hot's Potato, Evil Shimmer going to be on the Stukov, Nero there on the Johanna, Miss Crouton on the Gul'dan, Pasta Impasta playing the Tracer, and then Malthael going to be played by Snooters.
Snooters. Great.
So we talked a little bit about the siege camps on this map, and Raynor taking Exterminator can bring those down pretty quickly. Having Exterminator also means that they can get value out of the bosses. Bosses not having quite the same impact on this map as certain other ones, of course, but it's not zero. So being able to pick them up quickly is important. Yeah, style saying, I don't know that I want to play Tracer into that, and absolutely correct. There's a lot of potential stuns if they get one on a Tracer and layer them out. Tracer's toast.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the disadvantage of them having to pick it so early in the draft, is that Cool Cats has their whole draft where they can build to try and kind of counter that. However, they are really pushing in this bot lane here. Beowulf 1v4. As, once again, Cool Cats and Kittens first to take their camps.
Yeah, on it immediately. And with that Exterminator pulling it pretty quickly. Malthael's going to head over to pick up the blue side as well. But now the rotation from CC and K up to the top here to see if they can't get a little push while that siege in the middle has to be dealt with. But not so much, as the tank and healer coming up enough to push them away. Gul'dan, however,
in on this Gul'dan.
Yeah, looking for the stun. There it is.
Oh, Uther, by the way, Stun City.
And you know what? Great on Horvath to play so patiently. You might see for a lot of ETC players to, just like that, power slide in immediately. But knowing that Gul'dan had nowhere to retreat to, doesn't have a whole lot of health, waited until Gul'dan was close to the wall, but most importantly, until the rest of the red team was there to actually do something with the stun. So
yeah,
really great
exactly.
play by ETC. Now the Johanna blind into Raynor is going to be really helpful. We'll see how that plays out. Kael'thas on this map, you know, I mentioned it earlier about Volskaya. This is another one where people are pretty close together, fighting over these prison camps. You know, there's not a lot of room on them, so Kael'thas can certainly get that spread, and it didn't go so well for Hot's Potato when they faced him earlier.
Yeah, and right now they're able to put a ton of damage into the Johanna between the Kael'thas and the Raynor.
Horvath just barely missed Nero there on the power slide. If that power slide connects, Johanna's dead, and this objective pretty much instantly goes.
Tracer.
Uther with another kill, this time onto Tracer. Can we get a third? Can Uther get a hat trick on Alterac Pass? There's only one way you get that. You got to get the first 3 kills of the game. And it has to be the same player. It's not just the team. So we'll see. But since it's a custom that doesn't give the MVP awards and all that stuff, so we won't see that. But we'll know if it happens.
Yeah, we'll know, and everybody at home watching will know.
Exactly. Prison Camp going to be paused there at the 11-second mark as Kael'thas picking up that last bit of XP, but being late to the party is going to get a pulse bomb for it. Having to pull back, ETC is going to get the power slide onto Tracer, and she's going to be able to get away. But now Beowulf probably
Rag's
not,
in a lot
right?
of trouble. Yeah. He's so
Really?
far away from his team.
Wow,
Oh,
okay.
just barely there. And oh, here's that moment. But that huge silence from the Stukov catching 4 members of Cool Cats. Yeah.
Yeah, they're able to take out the Raynor there and make it out themselves alive. Not super healthy, not with a ton of mana, but alive. And able to start the channel for themselves now. 30 seconds left. Raynor will be back up, so there is going to be enough time for Cool Cats and Kittens to come back into this. And they're decently healthy. I mean, they've got an Uther, so, you know, not a ton of healing to come into that. But they get the armor out of that.
Yeah. You may not have health, but at least you've got armor.
Countdown is finishing up here, though, so if CC and K want to do anything about it, they're very short on time here. Uther's going to go for the channel and stop it at 0.9 seconds. And just enough. That's all it takes.
Yeah, that was I'm kind of surprised Hot Potato let him get away with that, but probably the safer call not to engage and risk losing anything there.
Yeah, and the siege camp in the middle is going to start getting value, so they have to be a little bit cautious of that, as Malthael is going to take care of it. And CC and K are... What are they going to do here? They're defending? I guess they're just kind of hoping that Rag can get the soak and look for an opportunity here.
They are ever so slightly ahead here in the race to get tins. Rag's gonna get bullied for his trouble of trying to go soak the lane.
Still not a lot going on. Malthael and Rag doing their soaking duties here. 10 is not far off, but it does feel like an eternity when the prison camp only 0.9 seconds left here. Johanna's going to scout out the ETC.
Oh, there's
ETC,
the Malthael. He gets it.
Get it.
And that's objective.
And Ragnaros does not have Molten Core yet, I don't think. So this defense is going to be just full-on heroes versus objective. And it looks like level 10 is going to be here in time for Hot Potato when these come out. Big Pulse Bomb onto the Rainer. Uses the Adrenaline Rush to heal back up. But survives.
Yeah. Currently very small tin advantage here for the Hot Potatoes right at the start of this objective.
And 10 is up and available here for Cool Cats and Kittens. We see the Lava Wave going into the mid lane to clear out the minions at least, as the rest of the team presumably about to head there as well. Malthael in the middle to try to stall out the damage that the red team minions can do. And objective going to sit about half health, but go down quickly, having just taken out the wall, and that's about all they're going to get in really all three lanes.
Yeah. There is just the tiniest sliver of health on one of those turrets in the top lane, but otherwise all the walls cleared out.
And Hot Potato coming into the bot lane now. And it's really important now with level 10, Tracer having, I'm assuming that's Quantum, right? Yeah, Quantum Spike gets that percentage damage as well. So that makes her significantly more of a threat against some of these higher health heroes like the ETC or the Ragnaros. Uther did go into the Divine Storm, so they're looking really to make sure they can lock down those heroes. But that means that Last Rites is a dangerous scenario for Cool Cats and Kittens.
By the way, Rainer and Uther are trying to sneak this boss up in the top lane.
And Malthael doesn't seem to have any idea. Oh, might have just seen that Holy Radiance, though. It doesn't look like it, so this might be a pickup here. But in the mid lane, they're getting a lot of value from Hot Potato. Going back and forth to see if they can... They're having to trade off tanking the boss here.
Just not quick enough from the Rag to save that fort. But they do secure the boss up in the top lane for Cool Cats and Kittens.
Yeah, Siege Camp helping to allow them to get that mid lane fort down. And again, I mean, this boss wouldn't even get the key or the fort if it was left to its own devices. So they're just gonna get maybe the wall with the turret here. But again, it's greater than 0, and it's gonna give them the opportunity to come down into the bot lane, potentially do the same. Although Johanna's gonna try to stall that from happening.
Yeah, so it's not a great trade for Cool Cats and Kittens. They're taking the boss and losing a fort for it, but do they get the Johanna here? Oh, the D-Storm.
Yeah, but ETC's in a bit of trouble here. Tracer able to just juke out of the mosh pit, so gonna be just fine. So just the tank, and now Beowulf gonna back, possibly Envision. And the prison camp's back up now, so with a few seconds left on Johanna, CC and K are able to head up here and potentially pick this up.
Yep, they're going to be able to start the timer on that while they're up 5v4 here. However, Hot Potato does get their camp, so this will be one time where they do have a camp pressure pushing on the map when Cool Cats does not.
ETC getting brought pretty low, gets rooted in the silence here, taking a lot of damage. Blessed Shield, I think, went out, and ETC just taken out Tracer with the kill credit. And Uther now trying to get away from Tracer. Tracer about half health there, using Rewind just to make sure she doesn't get stunned just outside of the Phoenix. And now the Phoenix not able to stall this out because of the positioning.
Yeah, that was a really good route by the Stukov there with his 13 to keep the ETC in place so his team could do the rest.
ETC now back on the map. 37 seconds left on Mosh Pit. With Encore, though, that feels like about 5 seconds. So Mosh Pit should be available. Ragnar's still in the bot lane, though, so this is pretty certainly going to be a Hot Potato objective. We see the siege camp being picked up here by the bulk of the red team, and Malthel coming over maybe was thinking about just checking. I doubt he was going to try to go in if he did find anybody there, but you never know. Could have happened. And with that, Hot Potato now with the objective, they're pushing up what they can in the mid lane, trying to get it as close to the wall and delete this siege camp so that they can start getting some keep damage. If nothing else, at least the wall opening up the lane. And a little bit of damage each time.
Yep. Here comes the objective. Now the real push starts.
Yeah, and those Rams, the Ram Riders provide, I think it is like a 10% or a 15% or something like that, damage and movement speed bonus to anybody within those circles. That includes the minions, so they're doing additional damage when they're there. Gonna get the full wall, and Hyperion coming out. They're looking for Johanna. Shield popped here. Blessed Shield as well, so stun went out, but they weren't able to get any kills off of it. Tracer looking for the Rainer, gets penetrating around, booping him back.
They did interrupt Ragnaros from going and taking over that fort there.
So Molten Core should still be available then, right? Because it was just a short...
Yes.
In the bottom lane. So all 3 forts down now for Cool Cats and Kittens. They do have pretty decent damage on the other side, though. So if they can get an objective, they'll easily be able to pick up 2 forts. Possibly a third.
Yeah, Ragnaros has been pushing in that bot lane, pushing up the waves before that objective started, and that let them take like half of the bottom fort. And then between the boss and the push-up waves in the top lane, they've almost got that fort down as well, even though they haven't been able to secure the objectives at this point.
And this could be a little bit risky. Having that siege camp picked up, knowing that Hot Potato could be coming in on this. Oh, and they just showed, so they've definitely got to pull back now. I think if ETC was a little more patient, maybe they could have gotten a mosh there.
Right, well, haven't leashed the boss yet, so we'll see what happens here.
Blessed Shield going out, the Unstoppable used to keep Rag alive. Mosh Pit coming in onto 2.
Really good spot for Mosh.
Pasta and Pasta going down Divine Storm, but they lose the Ragnaros and ETC. Stukov gonna shove Kael'thas into a different map entirely, and they're looking for Snooters here. The penetrating round just missing, and it looks like Uther gonna get taken out. Hyperion gonna come out, but that's not gonna be enough damage to take any heroes out, so it's really just Rainer left alive. And boss now available. They don't have Tracer, but Gul'dan and Malthel can do enough damage. It'll take a little bit, but they can do it.
Yeah, Rainer and Uther there, they were fighting the good fight in the 2v2, but surprise, there's more teammates for Hot Potatoes, and so they were able to win that fight and pick up a boss for themselves.
And this boss, unlike the earlier boss that we saw that went into a fort, which, by the way, that fort about to go down. There's a massive minion wave up there. Anyways, but this boss going into a keep, so it's really important that the red team come down here, focus on burning this down before it gets any significant damage there. They have 50 seconds on these prison camps, so they can afford to be a little bit patient with that. But Hot Potato not even bothering with the prison camp. They're going to get the boss instead.
Yeah, and that's still, I mean, that's still a pretty healthy boss that Cool Cats and Kittens just let push in. it's not going to get a whole lot other than, you know, a part of the wall here. And they are able to start the channel, but they do have a boss now that they're going to have to worry about in the top lane as well, which will also be pushing into a keep.
Yeah, and if they lose a fight here, this becomes game.
Yeah.
So they have to be a little bit careful about this. It's 18 to 18, so they don't have, you know, a 20 advantage or anything like that. They should have enough time to clear this boss and still be able to come in and at least attempt to defend this prison camp. They've got 50 seconds. Practically an eternity in HOTS.
Basically forever. They are getting closer to getting that bot fort. Very good at keeping the pressure up in the lanes, the Cool Cats and Kittens. However, they are kind of on the back foot this game a lot of times.
20 seconds left here, and Hot Potato's going to go ahead and pull back.
Yeah, I mean, they're a level ahead to 20s. They don't really need to do anything right now. Just get 20s and then look at doing something while you've got that advantage.
Yeah, and much the same, if they lose a fight here, they potentially lose the game as well, because the channel's already been started. And that objective going straight into 2 keeps, basically, would be potentially an issue. So
yeah.
Both teams kind of playing defensively here. But, I mean, this is the time that Cool Cats, they need to be the Cool Cats. They got to get in here and make a play happen. They've got about 15 seconds, less than that now, with the wave here. They have about 5 seconds now before... Okay, whatever. I'm apparently bad at timing. Level 20s.
Yeah, so anyway, it's 20s.
Yeah.
We've got a full level that they're down 20s, and that's gonna be a rough time for them because they can't really do much to contest this. I don't know if Rag could have maybe if he had his molten core up to maybe stall it out, but this is just gonna be another objective for Hot Potatoes right now.
3/4 of a level or so to go for Cool Cats and Kittens. They're going to have a lot of XP coming their way, but the problem is that comes with an objective pushing hard. And they have to be careful. There's the bounce off the shields to the minions here.
Oh,
A double kill coming in, right? Right?
That's so bad.
Lava Wave is going to come out with a big Divine Storm, but that's only going to bring Johanna down to half health here. And this is incredibly bad for Cool Cats and Kittens. They've lost basically all their damage with an objective coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Potato sort of isn't like pushing that in bot lane while they're up 5v3 right now. And Cool Cats does have their 20s online. And, okay. I guess it's not bad, actually. Surprise. But the objectives are making their way onto the bottom keep now.
Yeah, it's a little crazy to see that, although Kael'thas here does use that arcane barrier, so is going to be fine with the pulse bomb coming in. ETC pushing back the Malthael. Now, getting with the Encore being pushed a little bit closer here. Stun coming out onto Johanna. There's the Blessed Shield once again. Big condemn and getting the kill onto Kael'thas as Uther running away. Can Horvath make it? Just barely makes it inside of the base. But Lulu coming in for the double kill. And now Stukov getting low. Can they continue? Looking at they get the Stukov there. And Johanna, very low, is in full retreat here. Does have the Conviction, I think it's called, at level 4. Getting her that movement speed and the Unstoppable. It is Conviction.
Oh my gosh, Aero, that point blank lava wave for 2 kills to save the game.
Maybe.
Probably?
There's still a lot of damage coming onto the core, but
okay,
I think
there we go.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yeah, that literally saved the series with that lava wave. That was pretty crazy.
But there's a lot left. They still have a huge mountain to overcome. And I think, you know, picking up the siege camp is okay, but I think they needed to come down here to the boss and get value out of that boss. They're probably going to go there now, and this is where, you know, the game could potentially end, right? The last time they were here, it did not go well for them. They need ETC to be ready in a good position for a mosh pit, and they need the rest of the team, you know, ready to go.
They're just going to bait it. They're not even going to go for the boss. Oh, yeah, maybe. Just kidding.
But they've also, well, they can now because Johanna's in the mid lane, right? So she's pushing up these lanes. There's no keep in any lane for Cool Cats and Kittens. There's nothing defending their core.
Listen, but they got a Ragnaros that can come. He can pretend to be a keep for a little bit.
Are they? They are going for the boss, right? Are they not going for the boss? I don't think they know if they're going for the boss or not. Oh, okay.
We lost KT.
Rip. Red team having DC issues tonight. Hopefully not for too long. So yeah, so boss heading into the bot lane. Of course, the red team now dealing with the siege camp that's close to their core. They had to, because even if Hot Potato was on the boss, that siege camp, along with the pressure of the minion waves, the reavers that come in those lanes, likely would have just ended the core. So really had to pay attention to that. But Hot Potato didn't get the boss, and that boss could have been absolutely fantastic for them to be able to push that. That being said, if you missed it, there was a recent Hot's highlight video of a boss, top lane boss no less, coming in on the other side, on the Alliance side. And it turns out if your core is pushed away and it's attacking the bottom lane minions, the top boss gets to the core and just stands there. It won't go all the way to the core itself, wherever it is. It will stop because it doesn't have any threat. Yeah. So there you go.
The more you know.
Yeah, fun little thing. I don't think there's any way you can actually control that other than to just let a minion wave. If a boss is coming, let the opposite lane minion wave get to the core to pull your core away. Go figure.
Go figure.
Series has been bananas, says Mongoose. Good to see you, Mongoose. I didn't realize you were here. Mongoose says I call pants on fire. Perhaps. That being said, again, Hot's Potato kind of going... Actually, in a way, it looked like they were playing a little bit of Hot's Potato, right? They were going kind of back and forth, trying to decide what can they do timing-wise, but the... well, I don't need that pen anyway. What do they do? The prison camps weren't up. The boss, seemingly a potential throw pit, just like, what they'd seen from the red team earlier. But then they've got their... I guess not only the objective, but they've got their objective there right before them.
Right.
Boss having tea break, says Funkster. Exactly. Boss is just like, hey, I really don't want to walk that extra distance to the other side of the core area.
Look at me. I'm the core now.
Exactly. Almost, right? Just standing there like Drekthar or Vanderpike. Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. You know what? We're really enjoying it as well. We appreciate you being here. Everybody that came over from the Girls Gang Squad, from Michael Udall, from the Heroes Hearth streams earlier. We really appreciate you being here and enjoying the casting and this Division D Grand Finals matchup for Nexus Gaming Series.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone from NGS that was just here.
Yeah, just actually showing up to support the teams.
You don't have to be rated into this to be special. Everybody's special. We love you all. Thanks for hanging out with us and watching this 5-game crazy series for the Div D Grand Finals.
Oh, apparently they're asking. Don't need to ask me.
They'll hear us in 30 seconds.
Okay, I let them know. Sorry, apparently they were waiting on us. I didn't realize it. To answer the question, yes, Uther has the top kills, although Gul'dan sitting right there as well with 4 kills between the two of them. Trying to find that page so that I can have that up on the screen. There it is. Here we go. All right, so objective is up. The siege camp here, pretty low, so that probably will die now, as the minions being cleared out by Cool Cats and Kittens. But the boss is in the bot lane here. Now this boss, I mean, it gets no value. I don't even know that it necessarily would have gotten the keep. Certainly could have, I think. But knowing that those two heroes are down there, I mean, this gives the Kittens their opportunity to work on this boss, and with that Exterminator, it's going to go down pretty quickly. Not a good thing for your Uther to get stunned, though.
Yeah, there was a window where Cool Cats was 5v3 here, and that did give them enough time to take this boss, but do they get out alive? Zoning Lava Wave.
And the Blessed Shield for the disengage, and keep in mind that's a level 20 Blessed Shield with the Radiating Faith. That actually is what set them up in the bottom lane to get that double kill that almost gave Hot Potato the win there. Bouncing that shield, you can just hit a minion and it'll hit everybody for that full 1.75 second stun duration. It prefers heroes, of course, so once you hit that first target, it'll go wherever.
Yeah, oh, Ragnaros. Oh, that was bold.
With Johanna in the mid lane, we're seeing the call to come in here. Johanna's coming in now, Kael'thas staying behind. I don't know that I like this. Hyperion coming out, Johanna's going to get a big condemn. They don't have the Blessed Shield yet. Horrify's going out. ETC with a big mosh pit is going to get interrupted a moment later and is going to be taken out. Does
no
not
death
have
mosh.
Death metal.
Oh, that's so sad.
But Tracer's going to get taken out. Turns out Raynor just turning around and auto-attacking is a big deal here. Uther going to get a big stun out there. And Raynor, however, taken out by Johanna. Now, Uther trying to get away, taking all that dot damage. Is Johanna now going to get that condemn? Stun coming in, but it looks like Uther may be taken out here as well. And Ragnaros now on the retreat. The Gravity Lapse is going to keep him alive. So, two heroes here from Cool Cats and Kittens still alive. I don't know. Lulu, this is tough. No Tracer, though.
Yeah, no Tracer. They do get this objective now. It was unfortunate for Cool Cats and Kittens. Kael'thas was back, you know, kind of stopping the objective. So when Johanna came in, it was a 5v4 for Hot Potatoes. So they're able to get 3 kills out of that fight, while Cool Cats was only able to secure 1.
Yeah, and I think that's a big misplay. That is the moment that Cool Cats and Kittens are going to be looking back on to say, maybe that was the wrong idea here.
Yeah,
10
because they
seconds
really
on the objective,
had
though.
the momentum shifted back in their favor, and they've kind of lost that again. But the objective is not done yet. They can, okay, well, Horrified, by the way.
Yeah, and ETC trying to get in there for Kael'thas. They're trying to take out the Malthael and taking him down pretty far, but Kael'thas instead going to be the one that goes down. They do, however, stop the prison camp, but Raynor is going to fall. Nero getting really low and ETC zoning out, but Tracer finishing the job on Ragnaros. Bolt of the Storm coming in with a double mosh pit, but it turns out when you have nobody else, you don't get a lot out of that.
Yeah.
Last Rites is going to finish ETC, and with only Uther to defend, we're now going to see Hot Potato moving on to the core. Oh, they're going to get the kill onto Uther too, just as an exclamation mark. A little bit of a taunt on the 100+ Tracer. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Hot Potato, your Division D Grand Finalists.
Grand Champions.
Yeah, that too.
Won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Man, what a series, Aero. Start off with a 12 health core 1% win for Hot Potatoes, and then go in the full 5 games. Crazy back and forth game 5.
Absolutely nuts. All right, let's see here.
Absolutely potatoes.
Let's see. I'm trying to make sure because the names aren't the same. So Beowulf was Cool Cats Kittens. That means him is Hot Potato. And we're going to see if we can get an interview here with them in just a moment. All right, let's go to the NGS lobby. We'll meet them there.
Sounds good.
Well, it's good to see you, Lulu.
Oh man, it's been so long, Aero.
Right? All right, well, I gave the invitation to the whole team, but we're just going to get the captain here. Welcome.
Hey. The guys
congratulations.
Made us just do it. Thank you.
All right, so we just have you, so we're only going to get your perspective, but tell us, what was it like at the end of Game 5 there? You know, we've got to know the hype moment. What was it like for the team?
Well, we were pretty excited, obviously, you know. We sort of tried to roll with that momentum that we were building probably the whole game, and, you know, it felt pretty good to get some of those picks at the end. Then we knew we were good. It was a little stressful being 2-2, but it was a fun series, and these guys were great opponents.
Well, it started off with, honestly, probably the closest game. There have been 1% to 0% cores
I've
before,
never seen that.
but it was 12 hit points on your guys' core. So
we beat it by one basic attack. It's insane. That was a crazy game.
So that was a game that was like 99% in your favor, but they kept chipping away at your structures.
Yes.
And then you got boss calls in both lanes. At what point were you like, listen, we just got to go all in and hope for the best? Or was there any concern at that moment that maybe you made the wrong call?
Yeah, so we're always looking for when we can go all in. We love a good fight, and we love to, if we can get a couple of picks and end the game, that's like always in our scope. That's our main goal. We like to just you know, be aggressive and push for that. The Viking pressure top lane, that was quite a lot. That pressured us to ending it as quick as possible as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so were you concerned at all when you had that all in call and you brought Sonya with you? That was and Li Ming died fairly early on in that fight too. So was there any concern that you made the wrong call and you were going to lose the game, or did you just we got this?
Well, we're like, it's that or it's it. We knew after we got the boss that the safe call was to defend the boss, but it was kind of a race condition where like we got the boss slightly before they did, and we're at our lane's pretty pushed. We're like, maybe we can just make it work.
Sure.
We collectively as a team, all 5 of us, were like, let's rush it, let's just go. I think if we had Sonya defending, we probably would have lost.
It's certainly possible. Wouldn't have had as much minion pressure. Maybe the Viking had pulled off. You know, so maybe that's different. It's tough to say, but you're right that you know, with Sonya and Wrath of the Berserker going, with Li Ming dying so early on, that you guys probably needed Sonya in that instance.
Yeah, and I think the amount of damage that Snooters was doing, like output wise, on the core is probably better than the amount that he can clear to protect our core.
Right. Well, it worked out for you. You guys get the point. You go into game number 2, where you begin picking every map for the rest of the series, and you go to Hanamura Temple. So you guys had banned out a couple of 2-lane maps and then selected the only remaining one.
Yeah.
Tell me about that a little bit.
So those are our 2 map bans every single time, guaranteed. We don't like them. So, well, a couple of our teammates don't mind them; they enjoy them. But the 2-lane maps aren't really where we excel. We're a lot better on 3-lane maps. So we try to focus on the macro, but it also gives us more opportunities for picks and team fights on a 3-lane map, because we're less concerned about, I don't know, the push on the 2-lane maps can be pretty intense. With Hanamura, the objective, you can buy yourself time to get. So like we can push it pretty far, and then we can give them leave for us to heal up or get a turret or something like that. Gives us some space while they push it back before we have to contest it. So Hanamura is nice that way for a 2-lane map.
Sure, but it turns out it much like you said, a little bit prophetic. It worked exactly as you mentioned about your other 2-lane maps. The pressure that they created ended up going against you guys in that one.
That's why we
rough.
don't pick the 2-lane maps.
So my question is then, what was the interest, the desire to going to Hanamura Temple as your first map pick then?
We normally do pretty well on it, but our 2 favorite maps were banned, and we didn't want to get to Dragonshire. And we've won on Hanamura before, so we figured it was the lesser of the evils of all the maps. We're like, if we don't get our first 2, we don't get our 3rd favorite, I guess this is where we'll go.
Sure. Lulu,
we thought the problem was our lack of AoE damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Lulu, any questions about game 1 or 2?
No, my questions are not game specific.
Okay, then I'll just get to the end of the thing and then come back to you. So then you get to game number 3. We go to Volskaya Foundry, and I wish I had a music clip that I could play that wasn't something that would get DMCA striked, because you get Nero the hero here.
Hey, yeah, that's Nero.
Just like everything was Nero. Nero's out of position, but it doesn't care. Nero's stopping rotations. Nero's in the back line killing people, and you guys ultimately you win the game in a very strong fashion. So how did it feel to be part of Nero's game?
It's good. We're always part of Nero's game. His main goal and his main job is, as his tank, is disrupting the rotation. So that's what he was harassing them, trying to mess with their rotations a lot. I'm not really sure. He can be aggressive. He can be quite aggressive. So with the Muradin especially, and we always try to follow with that. Sometimes he gets really aggressive, and it's hard for us to reach his range, because he's like, we're going in, guys, let's go. We're like, okay, let's go, let's do it, and then it usually works out pretty well for us. So he's good at that shot call.
Well, and it definitely worked out, and it was kind of the theme for Nero throughout the evening, with really all of the different tanks that he was playing to be very far forward, and kind of in a way not always to your benefit, right? On game number 4 with the Nubarak, sometimes a little bit too far forward, Nubarak not having quite the same survivability as really every other tank that he played tonight. But you guys had some other positives there. There was even a moment after that pause that we had in Towers of Doom that, it looked like maybe momentum was going to swing back into your way. They looked a little bit disconnected, not sure what to do. You got the top 2 altars, and then things just kind of started to swing in the other direction.
Yeah, they started picking us off, getting the momentum there.
So you get to the end of Towers of Doom. It didn't go super well. You're going now into game number 5. It's 2-2. You're the captain, right? What do you say to your team to make sure that they've got their heads in the game and that you're ready to win game number 5?
Basically, yeah. Well, we just try to think about what our mistakes were. So mostly we just talk about, okay, what is it that caused us to lose here? What are the main things? So is it a hero we need to ban? What do we need to do from now? Do we need to pick a different style map? Do we need to pick different assassins or tank? And then we just have to focus on that and the rest of the game. It's mostly just don't stress about that. Try to focus on where we're going next and where we need to move. Don't get caught up in our mistakes and what happened. Get our minds into what's the next best thing, right? Try not to let it get to you.
Sure. And the next best thing is a game 5 on Alterac Pass, which was quite back and forth. It was exciting. We got to see some of the heroes that had been banned a couple of times. We got to see a different tank. Nero played all 5 different tanks tonight.
He did.
And it was
really
exciting
likes that
match.
role in the front.
I can imagine. So you banned out the Vikings. Obviously, you didn't want to deal with that. I talked about how it certainly could be an option, even on Alterac Pass.
We were pretty surprised by that. We haven't really dealt with any like Vikings, Asmodan, any sort of. I guess Asmos is pretty similar to Vikings, but those niche specialist type heroes, we haven't played anyone that plays those so far in NGS. It's our first season. But we noticed we were doing a little bit of research on Cool Cats and Kittens, and we noticed that Asmo was banned out a lot, but we didn't think he would be as much of a threat as Brightwing or Kael'thas. We find Kael'thas is pretty strong against us because we like to clump around a lot, so we get hit by that fire. We spread the fire.
I'm not going to say we noticed that and called that out in game number 2 at all, but it might have come up once or twice.
Yeah, especially we've played against the KT Uther combo that was not so hot. KT Uther ETC is not a combo that we want to play at all. Any two of those together, no fun.
Sure.
We just have to be extra careful, so we're just banning the worst ones, I guess.
Sure. Well, and you guys end up coming out victorious on game number 5. It looked for a moment at kind of near the end that it was maybe, turning against you a little bit. And then, there was that boss play that they had on your guys' keep. Johanna was in the mid lane trying to keep that busy. And then they said, hey, let's come into you. How did you guys turn that around? And ultimately then win the game off of it? Like, was there any specific calls like that you guys did or anything, any one person that was like, this is how we got to make this happen? Or was it just, Yahtzee and it just happened to work out?
Yeah, well, we had a little bit of time on the pause to strategize a bit, decide what we were going to do, whether we were going to defend the boss or go for the other boss. So we tried to do a little bit of both. They were checking top to see if they were going to take it, but defending it we felt was also pretty important. And then after that, we're like, it's safer. We have more time if we just clear the bosses, and then we try to we wanted to clear the bosses, get 20, and then go in on that objective. So while we were doing that, Nero cleared mid, but we were communicating, we were ready to try and pinch him there when he went mid to get the minions. And we knew that they would have to push pretty far up to either contest boss or objective. They had to do one or the other. So we just decided to wait it out until it was safe and then made that engage. Also trying to time Joe's shield with my Horrify so we could get some good CC, some picks off of the CC there.
Sure. And I've got one last question for you, and then we'll let Lulu ask her questions here. So we started off this evening with a raid coming over from Girls Gang Squad of, I don't know, about 75 or 80 people. Michael Udall had about 80 people. Heroes Hearth brought in 1,800 people. At one point, there was over 2,000 people watching you guys play.
No way! Oh my gosh!
That's a lot of people these days. So
holy crap! Our last
game
was 100, I think. The last games we played was about 100 people, and we saw that West Coast was about 300, and I was like, oh my god, guys, we might get 200-300 people. Like, don't stress, but there might be a good number of people watching. 2,000? Are you joshing me?
Nope.
Wow. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Lulu, what questions do you have?
Okay, so now that you've talked about all the games and stuff, talk to us about Hot's Potato. Who are you guys? How long have you been playing together? How'd you get together?
Yeah, so a lot of us have been playing together quite a while. Pasta started playing in the beta with Nero, and then Pasta and I are actually married. We live together. So I played pretty early on with those guys in beta, and then we met Snooters a year and a half ago, probably, and we just sort of meshed pretty well. We felt that we were a similar level, so we enjoyed playing together. Then we met Shimmer earlier at the start of this year, I think, but he had a lot of potential. He was doing really well with the healers supporting us, so we were like, that's great. We can focus on the other roles that we've enjoyed playing, and we've all gotten really good over, like, we've all gotten our potential, improved our skill and potential over NGS. It's
That's awesome.
we've been getting together a lot more often to play, you know, for NGS. We've been practicing more, so it's nice that we get to scrim a bit more.
Yeah, have you guys played competitively before?
No, this is our first time. We've always just played casual, mostly quick match for the last 5 years. And yeah, we only just started getting into ranked because we thought it would be kind of fun. Now that NGS, it's much more competitive than ranked, so we're finding ranked is really fun when we want to take it a little bit more seriously and try to win.
We could totally tell that was a QM Murden, just saying.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it worked, Aero.
I didn't say there's anything wrong with it.
Hey,
wrong.
we had
Let's go play
fun.
more
We had
QM.
fun with it.
It was great.
Oh yeah. Those
Yeah,
QM
I
games
mean-
can be tough. You never know what you're gonna get against, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's, I mean, not a bad showing for your first season of competitive to come in and win Division D. So congratulations to you all.
Thank you. We did try out. We did do some of the Storm League games. Is that what the top league is? Yes.
Storm Division?
Storm Division. Yep. we tried some of the Storm Division qualifier games, and they were we did okay, but they were all really high level players, so it was exciting for us. It made us want to try harder and get better at the game, so that really set us up for this season. They're teams that have played together for a lot longer, so we also had to, like, we've played together a long time, but not seriously.
Right.
So we were inspired.
Very nice. All right, that's what I got, Aero.
Awesome. Well, then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Any shout outs you'd like to make?
Oh, of course. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for casting. Shout out to the enemy team. Cool Cats and Kittens. You guys, Cats and Kittens. Maybe we can do some scrims later because you guys are really fun to play against. So we'd love to do some customs sometime. Maybe we can do some haunted mines too. Friends and family. Everybody watching. All 2,000 of you. Wow. Thank you. Everybody that made it through all 5 games. Wow. Also, kudos to you and NGS for doing all of this. This is, it's a pretty big thing.
Absolutely.
So it seems like a lot of work goes into it, you know?
There are a lot of people
and
that
our
do
own
this.
team as well, because we actually weren't sure if this game was going to happen. When we had our last game, the Coastal Final, we were told that those were the finals, and that even though some of the other divisions were doing the Coastal Final, or the grand finals of the 2 Coastal teams, but we were told that D didn't. So we thought that it was done, and last week we were ready for it to be done, and then we found out about this game, and we weren't really sure, you know, but we talked with you, and we talked with Cool Cats and Kittens, and they were excited for the game, and then that got us excited, and we're like, you know, we're not done, we got to do this. So and then we got competitive. We're like, okay, let's go, let's take them on. They're the winners, we're the winners, we're all winners, let's do this.
Yeah, and not only that, but, you know, for everybody watching, this was originally scheduled on Friday, and I had said that I wanted to cast this one, but it turns out, you know, I had said before I knew that it was going to be Friday that I wanted to cast it, I had another obligation on Friday to cast, and so I do want to say thank you to both teams. You guys were really fantastic to communicate with and quickly respond to the potential change of switching it to tonight. So, you know, it's really great that you guys were so accommodating on both sides, all 10 players, and put on such a good show. I mean, this was so much fun to cast.
Yeah,
late
we
into the evening.
appreciate your insight and you know, all the value you bring to this. Casting adds so much more to the game than just watching us play, and it also means we get to watch it later too, and we're gonna.
I can't imagine why
go back
not.
and hear what you guys have to say, right?
Oh, don't worry. We don't say anything bad, I promise. Not a single thing.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Thanks so much for joining us here, and have a wonderful evening. I imagine you probably won't spend a whole lot of time with your team, you know, being on the East Coast here like I am, and it's rather late. But you know what? You got the off season, and then, you know, next season coming up in a couple months. I assume you guys are going to return to play for that.
We're still thinking about it. we're not 100%. It was quite enjoyable. And another shout out, I'm just remembering, I want to thank everybody who committed to this, because it is a big commitment to, you know, say that we're going to do a game every week and actually show up and be there, and all the scheduling and communicating, everything like that. It's a lot of work. A lot goes in behind the scenes. So thanks for that.
Especially for captains. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us, and good luck whether you play in next season of NGS or find something else
Merry
to do.
Christmas. Have
You
a
as
great
well.
holiday.
Thank you very much.
Same to you.
Thanks. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Have a good night.
All right. So we'll just stay here, Lulu. There's no reason for us to go to the other channel. That's it. We're done. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired. You're a little bit farther back in the country, so it's not as late for you. Anything you'd like to say to Twitcher?
Another 5-game series.
Yeah, go figure, right? Sorry, anything that you want to say to Twitch?
Yeah, I mean, thanks everybody who came out and hung out with us. It was a ton of fun. It was an awesome series. Congrats to Hot's Potato, and a great series from Cool Cats and Kittens as well. And yeah, that's
cool.
That's it. We got one more match tomorrow. The B Northeast Southeast Grand Final is going to be at 7 Central here on the same channel. Ace and Ektar are going to be casting it, so make sure to check that out as well. And then I think that's the last Grand Final.
Awesome. And once again, just wanted to shout out our raids earlier from Girls Gang Squad. And if you missed that, we had a big charity event today for Toys for Tots. It was a partnership between GGS and NGS. And over $3,000 was raised. That was fantastic. So thank you for those of you that stuck around and joined us here this evening. Also, Michael Udall and Heroes Hearth for bringing everybody over. I think Ektar is going to raid us over to somebody somewhere out there in Twitch land. So hopefully it's something enjoyable for you guys. But thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you again soon. You can find Lulu on Twitter at Lulu_Hots. You can go to my Twitter. It's there. I'm not even going to say it because I never go there. But if you really want to find me, just go to twitch.tv/AeroRG. That's for region, AeroRG. And that's where you'll find my casts, both in the future and casts that I've done in the past. And that's about it. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks very much.